So, welcome to the Post-Workout Podcast. Today's guest is Josh Coyle.
How's it going?
Josh, you turned professional in bodybuilding on the 14th of April, 2018.
Yeah, it's very precise.
And then you made your pro debut exactly a year later on the 13th and 14th. It was 2 days show. I've done my homework.
You have me. You're actually more prepared than me. Yeah.
As well as that, you're a show-winning coach.
Yeah.
You have 40 top placings, 23 first places, 3 overall champions, 1 British champion, and 1 pro card that you have given your clients.
PCA pro card, yes.
And recently, you've gone down a different path in training in MMA, which is a big, big change.
Big change,
so
man.
We're going to get into that in
change.
Just a minute. We'll get started on the podcast in just a moment, but before we start, I would like to give a massive shout out to Chat and Chill Cafe in Lisburn. First of all, for the use of their facilities to record the podcast, and second of all, for their amazing coffee and service. I mean it when I say it, that this is by far the nicest coffee shop in Lisburn, and you will experience why the second you walk through the door. The people that you'll meet in here are absolutely amazing, and the service is next level. They've recently been awarded the Best Independent Coffee Shop in Northern Ireland 2023, and to say it's deserved would be an understatement. Be sure to check them out. Now onto the podcast. So, starting from the very start, early life, what was young Josh like?
Young Josh was well behaved, well mannered in school. Had a funny side to myself, but would have been more competitive in the rugby pitch more so than in the gym. And it wasn't until I was in lower 6th whenever I joined a grammar school, and it was kind of focused all on rugby. I went full at rugby for 2 years, tried my best, then went to uni, done the whole thing, everyone follow the sheep, or be a sheep, follow the crowd, go to university, get a degree, in the Ulster setups, try to go down that path. And within after my first full year in university, I decided to pull the plug on both going to university and going to rugby, and just taking full time in the bodybuilding.
Jeez.
I know.
That's a big call.
I got kicked out of the house by my mum and dad. They were like, "What are you doing, son? You're throwing everything away." And I was like,
that's the classic parent. So it's if you don't go to school and you don't finish school and you don't go to uni, the traditional route.
Yeah,
exactly. Everyone's the same.
Yeah, you got to push against the grain sometimes, but it was worth it, obviously.
Yeah. And obviously, can't recommend that to everyone, because not everyone will have the gift that you have in freakish genetics, but also, obviously, it goes without saying, a lot of hard work and dedicating your life to it. But it's not for people out there just to think, right?
Scrap
the education. We'll find a way.
If you're doing a doctor's medicine degree, stick at it. I was doing geography, no idea what I was going to do with it.
Geography?
I was doing geology, geography, and urban town planning. So it was geography was the main course, and then there was 2 side courses. So I was I'm going to get into rocks here and go to California and look at volcanic structures and stuff like that.
The only thing I remember from geography is going on field trips. Those wee squares. The wee grids are how many daisies are in the grid, and that's going to be the amount for this whole field.
It's just, it just works. That just shows you how my brain works. Just simple things amuse me.
But some change. And then the rugby, you were in Ulster setups.
So it was in the Ulster youth, then Ulster clubs, Ulster youths, and then by the time we were making the transition, it was under 20s, and it was just scrap this. I was scrap this. I just don't know. I think what it was for me was I'm sure there's probably a few of the boys who are going to be watching this, but whenever I was playing for the town rugby in Banbridge, the team was such a close knit.
It's very clicky.
Yeah.
It's a cult.
And as soon as we got to senior rugby, that's when I kind of just changed for me a wee bit. I didn't know half the guys. They were all talking. They were all way older than me and going out for drinks and pints. And at that time, it wasn't really my thing. I just liked to run about town, get a chippy, get a bag of sweets, go home, play Call of Duty, mate. That was a highlight of my life. Like, literally.
The easy days.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do hear that a lot because there's a lot, like you were at I went to Wallace, so like same kind of culture, very, very rugby orientated. Yeah. And I know a lot of the boys stopped playing as soon as they left school because they had like their wee school clique, and then as soon as they joined different, I think a lot of them went to Lisburn, but then it was just different. Yeah, I mean, you don't have that.
Yeah, like
close knit.
Yeah, like partly as well though. Like whenever you do play schools rugby, and it is a kind of a highly qualified school for rugby. Like you are drilled daily with like not only just off on the pitch but off the pitch as well. Like we had video analysis on a Monday, we had team lineouts on a Monday, then we had a team run out on a Monday. So like those 3 separate like rugby focused hours or something like throughout the day, and that was Monday to Friday, and then you have a match on Saturday. Only day off was Sunday, so it was like 6 days a week plus your pitch session, your actual gym sessions in the gym, and then your video sessions, line out sessions, so it was like all thrown in at once. And I suppose that's what it takes, like, what I mean, there is no balance in life. I'm sure we'll go into this later on the topic, but if you want to get good at something, there isn't really no balance at it. But I kind of burnt the ends for me a wee bit.
A wee bit too much. And in that time, obviously you're playing rugby and you're at that high level, and you got this stage where you did just scrap it for the bodybuilding. What was the physique like whenever you were playing rugby, like compared to the other guys your age in the changing room?
Do you know what, I was the skinny guy, but I was the skinny guy with abs, what I mean? Like,
you've got a build.
I had a build to me. I wouldn't necessarily have a big frame because I was a scrum half, so like I was the smallest on the pitch all the time, no matter what. And like the reason why I got into rugby was, weight training, was that my dad was like, you're in the ulcer setup now, look at the size of these boys, you're getting smashed around the ruck. And I was like, yeah, you're right. He was like, fucking lift a bit of weights and eat some food. And I was like, right, okay. That was
look what you created.
Look what you created, Dad. A meathead.
But I remember being told, with Simon Neely I was talking to, and he said that during that time, like, you started taking like weight gainer shakes, and then all the boys were like, right, you're on the gear.
Yes, mate. So obviously before I went enhanced, there was like a year where everyone was like, you're enhanced, mate, what are you on, and all. Like, even my first coach at the time, my very first coach, he didn't believe I was natural when I went to him. Ashley Crooks didn't believe I was natural.
Serious?
Yeah, he was like, what are you on? Nothing, mate. He goes, don't bullshit me. I was like, bro, I'm not fucking taking anything. And he was like, right, okay, we're going to take this and that and all, but that's not a subject. But yeah, that just changed for me, like adding in that serious match shake. What is it, like 1,600 calories? It's like a litre and a half. Yeah. It's like a litre, and like literally, like the scoop is like that size, and you don't put one, you put 2 scoops in. Jesus. 2 fucking scoops. And that was the breakthrough. That was the fake natty accusations.
And the thing, like those weight gainer shakes, I think for the standard person, I would never recommend them. Even if you consider yourself a hard gainer, try your best with food.
Yeah, you like stick with palatable sources, because I do think that there is just shite pumped into them. No,
like,
100%.
If you can get it through clean food, obviously get it through clean food, and it should be last resort to go for them. But obviously you had some sort of genetics.
I didn't touch the side, it just went straight to the muscles, like, whereas like that might not be the case for most people.
I know myself.
It's a lot of high sugar and stuff.
Right into the belly.
Belly and the hips.
So that's how it all started.
That's how it all started, mate. It was to not get knocked about the rugby pitch too much, and then when the Ziz days came about, I was like, who's this guy? And he was sitting there with the man bag, the short shorts, the sleeve, the chest, the abs, and all the girls running at the festival. I was like, I want to be that guy. I was like, I want to be that guy. And that was
it became trendy.
Exactly.
And then first coach.
Yeah, Ashley Crooks.
How long were you training on your own before you went to coach?
So what was I started weight training about 16. I started weight training 16, but I didn't properly get into it whenever I was actually like 17. So the first year was like going to school, going after school with a few mates, not really know what I'm doing, like on the rowing machine and stuff, you know what I mean? Like I was just doing all sorts of shit. But so I was training for about 4 years before I joined Ashley. And then I was only with Ashley for, it was like a 15-week show prep. And that was it. Like I kind of, like I'm not going to bash, people have their own coaching methodologies and all that stuff, but like he kind of left me in the dark after those 15 weeks. And like, you know yourself, mate, like you've done a show before, like the unexpected, the unknown post-show. Like, most people don't know what they're coming into, you know what I mean? And
that's one thing I see so much, and obviously it's a different degree, but it's photo shoot preps.
Yep.
And people advertise photo shoot preps. And with all due respect to the people doing them, it's people who are overweight that start it, and then they go in this photo shoot prep, and yes, they get in great shape, but where the coach needs to be there afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
To maintain that, because I know myself, like, even whenever you put me through a photo shoot prep on the first one, I just
I know, next time you see, look, where's your neck? Don't know, mate.
And at the time, I didn't have that much muscle. So I was only a couple of years in the training. I think I started training in 2017, and that was 20. Well, I think it's 2020. Yeah. But then obviously that's 3 years of training. It's probably 2 of those years are terrible training, you know, as everyone does at the very start. So yeah, I didn't have that much muscle, and I just know myself, like, I love food, and I was disciplined for the 12 weeks I've done it. But after that, it was
the protein bars got hit hard.
That was the highest quality food.
So you want to get like a 15 protein bars in one day or something. I was like. Yeah, like 200 grams of fiber.
Rookie mistakes. Like, you learn from these things. And then even post show, like, that's when did I compete? 2022. So that would have been like 5 years into training.
Yeah.
And like a pretty good relationship with food at that stage. But even at that, it's like whenever you restrict yourself that much.
It starts to you don't realize how lucky you are to have food, you know, when someone gets pulled away from you and you're like eating a meal and you're hungry after you finish that meal, and you know your next meal's not going to fill you and you have to go to bed. It plays a lot psychologically in your mind and stuff. So
it's hard to take your mind off it as well. It's like the one thing you're craving, and the one thing that stays on your mind the whole time. And I remember I was sitting planning what I'm going to eat after the show,
ordering stuff online and all, having it all stacked beside the bed. Like, you know, that's if any of you are doing like a first show or first photo shoot prep or anything, and you're pre-ordering food and sweets to have it there, don't. Because that will set yourself up for you're just going to. You're going to get fat.
That rebound's not going to be a good rebound. But 15 weeks, so that was show prep you done? Yes. So your first coach, that was...
Straight into show prep, and like, this just shows you what my metabolism was like, man. Like, I remember I sent Ashley Crooks, because I wasn't necessarily tracking my food as such, I was just eating, and he was like, you know, during the onboarding process, he was like, you know, send me what you would eat like over 3 days, like an average over 3 days, and I was like, right, okay, and I sent it across to him, and it came to like 4,300 calories, and like, mate, I was like 80 kilos, but like, I was putting away so much food. And I remember I had all that food right up until like 5 weeks out, and then all of a sudden it just shot down by like 2,000. Like, it's like low, all the calories just went out in like one day, and then that started the post-show binge. I think that's what influenced that, because like the harder you get pushed down, the harder the rebound is essentially as well, you know.
The pig face post-show.
Oh fuck, man, no idea.
I remember
Robbie Green, if you're watching this, that day still haunts me. Yeah, I pulled up outside Columbia Gym, put the window down, went to like speak and talk to him, and he just burst out laughing and was like, "Yeah, look at the fucking size of your face." I was like, "What?" He's like, "It's bad." No, he's like, "Mate, you have no neck," and I was just all.
It is scary, and it's like it goes on there. Obviously, you're full as a house, and it feels class. I remember the shin splints and the lower back pumps were ridiculous. But I didn't even mind, because I still looked good. You know, I was still visually lean. There's a lot of water and all. But my face bugged me. I was like, I dieted for 17 or 18 weeks here, and I've got a fat face within 2 weeks.
Oh,
I was raging.
It is.
Like, if people look at you, I'm like, did you compete?
I know, they're like, oh, you're not you're meant to be a fitness guy, you don't look too fitness, like.
Out of breath at the top of a flight of stairs.
Literally. Nothing.
So Ashley Kirk's first coach, and is that all you done with him?
That was all I done with him. Like, don't get me wrong, he done really well. We done really well. We won.
What show was it?
PCA, very first PCA Ireland. It was in Lisbon. It was actually in Lisbon, you know.
You told me about the Civic Centre.
Yes, mate. Yes,
that's mad.
It was like a wee sports hall. A wee tiny sports hall. Like, and I got moved up a category, and I was like, "What the fuck? You can swear on this, like, can't you? I can swear on this podcast." But I got moved up, and I won a muscle. So if you don't know, muscle model back in the day would have been like, you know, short shorts to show the quads and the hamstrings. Men's physique is like shorts that come down to your knee. I was in shorts that come down to my knee, so my legs were hidden. And obviously, the criteria for muscle model is upper and lower. I didn't have my lower on show, and there was a guy, Ricky Higgins, and he was the guy that was winning shows back then, and I was up against him, and I don't know how. I do know how. I was the smallest on the stage, but I think I had the best structure and potential, and that's what they saw. They were like, look at that guy. That guy has like a 28-inch waist. He's good poser. He's got good stage presence. He's got good arms, good chest. Has the full look. So I ended up winning, and I was like, whoa, and I know that caused a lot of stir in the crowd and stuff, but
it was probably unheard of back then, but I've noticed that quite a bit in recent shows. Like, it's all conditioning. Yeah, like it is. I went up to the one in Galway, Adrian. Yeah. And those guys are bigger. Yeah, but Adrian's physique is just...
Yeah, exactly, man. It's like who catches your eye, and like, who fits it. Men's physique is a category that obviously every category is subjective, like...
How's it going?
Someone just walked in.
Got a new guest coming in.
Yeah. Come on in.
I think she knows it's closed.
It does say it's closed. We're sitting here with two mics, love. Come on in. The coffee's... Do you want a coffee here? We'll just get the tripod to make you one. So that's what we talked before she walked in.
Adrian's men's physique.
Men's physique. Yeah, Adrian's class, man. Like,
it's just such round muscle.
Yeah, like full like... That, like, you'll drill him down, deplete him down, and he's still bubbly. He still has that, like, that Filipino look, like that real smooth skin, know, and like it's just like good insertions, good muscle bellies.
And like you seen it from a young age as well. You prepped him like young.
Yeah, it was,
and he still had a sense of it, even though there wasn't obviously that much muscle because of the age. Yeah, but he still had.
Yeah, he still had, like,
you could see where it was going.
Yeah, exactly.
From a young age, like, and then even your recent one, I don't actually know his name, so apologies, but the lean machine.
Oh yes, Kaushik. Yeah.
And like. Again, there's bigger guys on stage,
but
same thing. The actual physique is better.
Same thing, yeah.
And I suppose it takes a good judge to actually be able to call that as well.
Yeah, true. Because like essentially what they're looking at is they're going, right, okay, that guy's ahead of him because he's essentially bigger. He's got more muscle mass than him. But what if Kaushik had the same muscle mass as that guy? Yeah. Okay, right, that's it. Okay, so there's the potential. So maybe that's the winner. Give him another year or two in the off season.
And the ratios are big. Those guys don't have waists.
Bro, he had he brought 26-inch shorts, and they were too big on him. 26 inches. So that means he's like 24 or 25 inches, man. He had 26 inches, and I was like, he's like, brother, do these fit okay? I can put his full hand in the shorts, and I was like, fucking hell, man.
Probably 24-inch.
24, mate. I know, like, last time I was 24 inches, I was probably like 7 years old.
Yeah, literally. I don't even know if my high school trousers made it. Oh, it's mad.
Yeah, crazy. Like, it just goes to show, like, obviously before I started dabbling in copious amounts of food and, bit of insulin and like heavy lifting, my waist did get quite big over time, but during the first like 2-3 years I competed, obviously I didn't touch any of that stuff. I had that very, very small waist, and that's what plays in your advantage, especially in men's physique, like,
And who came after, or what came after actually? Did you take a break without a coach?
Yeah, so I took a break ate all the food, didn't know what I was doing, and then obviously I tidied myself up a wee bit, and then I just met Phil Graham in Iron Gym one day, and he was training with Ryan Duffy, and this was the time when Phil was pulling away from coaching and starting to do the coaches coaching stuff. And so he turned around, he goes, oh, saw you on the muscle or PCA muscle model, and he goes, oh, you just complimented me, mate. And then after that I sent him a DM on Instagram, and I was like, yo mate, listen, muscle contest is coming up here in like 2 years or next year. He was, do you reckon we can go for it? And he was like, oh son, I'm not prepping anyone, but I'll take you. And I was like, no way. I was like,
you big flirt.
So I was like, oh stop, mate. But it was ridiculous. Like every show I done with him, I won. Like, so he ended up, we were like, right, do you know what? We'll do the PCA Saxon Classic, which was in Manchester, I think, and Sheffield. I won that, and the feedback was pretty good. And then the data he collected after that show, because again, second year, you go and eat like a pig. Sometimes you get better year to year, your post-show rebounds, but this year, the second year is slightly better. I ate like a pig, I blew up, and like Phil saw me a week later, and he's like, mate, you actually look better now than what you did on show day. And I was like, well, and he goes, right, okay, we'll take that data and see when it came to muscle contest Limerick for the PCA or the Pro card, IFFBB Pro card. he front loaded me from like 10 days out, 1,000 grams of carbs, 1,000 grams of carbs, 800 carbs, 700 carbs, 700 carbs, 600. And I was like, this is so much food. But see, when it came to show day, I was like, wow. I was like, you know, it takes a coach like that to really know exactly what they are doing, like, because that takes balls, mate, front loading someone so far out. But obviously you have time to fix that and stuff. But yeah, you obviously, like, Phil not being a coach, he was a very good coach. He's a very good coach, like,
Not bad. That is interesting, like, especially with the amount of food. Because I even remember saying you check-in shots whenever we got home after my show. Yeah. And, like, it was freaky. Yeah. And I probably looked better to guys exactly. Like, the amount of food I had.
Yes, exactly. and we're just saying, imagine even put even half that amount of food in, and it's like still. So it's like, it's hard, like, you diet down for so long, and, like, you think I do remember at the time I turned around and said to you, I was like, I had chicken and rice and I was bloated for about 3 hours because my food was so low. Yeah. And then obviously threw all that in. Yeah. I know that's what it comes with as well, though, because obviously you wouldn't want to get on stage with a bloated midsection. You'd be like, what the hell? You know? Well, mad. But. And then since Phil Graham, so that last show, did you get your pro card with Phil? Yep. Yeah. So and then mate, mad, like, he didn't even, like, it's the type of dude that, like, only person in the country that got someone their pro card and didn't even post it, like just would have said congratulations bud on his wee story and like a wee photo of me, but then, you know, he's so cool about it, he was just like, yeah, whatever. That's mad. Yeah, he's just like, yeah, whatever, I could do that in my sleep type of thing, you know. And I just, that is mad, he's all about marketing. Exactly, he's all about marketing. But I wonder if it's because he doesn't want to market himself as a coach. Yeah, possibly, like, but it just shows you, mate, the man just has it, like, if he gets that much of it, he gets that high achievement, and he's like, the next one, what's the business? Yeah, you know what I mean? Because they're literally, like, would you be the only two coaches in Northern Ireland that have got someone a pro card? Well, no, there's Darren Farrell. He's Irish, but he doesn't live in Ireland. He lives in Dubai, so if that counts. No, but because that would be it's pretty. Because I don't want to make bold statements. Because I think at one stage you were potentially the only IFFBB pro in Northern Ireland. Yes, I was. In Northern Ireland, anyway. I was. Yep, I was. Yeah, that was for about 3. It's about 3 years until after I won a pro card, and then it was Emma Fox, and then 2 years or a year after that was Matt. Matt Matt McCullough. Yeah. Shout out to Matt McCullough. He is doing well. He's doing very well. He's doing very well. He's a great physique on. But yeah, I don't want to do that because that's the only thing. That's the only stat that I didn't do my homework on. I couldn't research it. So I'll not come on here and say that because fair enough. I'll get someone comment. It's like, I got my pro. Or someone's like, oh, here, I prepped this guy for a pro card. I'll be like, listen, I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Could be someone out there. I'm not saying I'm the only coach. After Phil, then, so you got your pro card with Phil, and then your pro debut was on your own. Yes, yeah. So this was the interesting thing. So that was mental. Yeah. So it started off with Phil coaching me, right? It started off with Phil and on the prep. Yeah, and what I had noticed was by that time Phil was starting, you could say, like, this is again just shows you how good of him, not just a coach but like a mentor. Like he started, whenever I was coming in for my check-ins with him, he would ask me, what do you think you should do now? Like, what's so he got me thinking you as a coach. And then from the last 10 weeks I just decided to do it all myself, and there was twice I called into his house just to have a look, for him to have a look at me, and he would just oversee my diet, my drugs, my cardio, and be like, yeah, cool, just keep doing what you're doing. And I was like, yeah, sweet. And then he actually tried to plan my carb up. He wanted to do the same thing. I was like, no. Obviously, I know my body too, and like I just, in my head, I was like, IFFBB pros peeled to the bone. I'm not going to be the biggest, so why try to come in full round as a house and maybe sacrifice a bit of condition, a bit of dryness? So I depleted myself way under. I travelled to Orlando on like 800 calories, mate, and like Orlando was 6 hours behind. So you think about it, I was technically not eating for like a day. I was like not eating for like a day and a half. Technically not eating for like a day and a half, mate, and then wake up and go, right, okay, I'll have a bit of lettuce and like fucking 5 grains of rice and like 1 slice of chicken, and like that was me into the show. But I actually was very happy with my look. I was very happy with my look. Could have been better, probably, but you know, that's just the aim of the game. Like, you always get better show to show.
And you learn from it.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me about that because it was a 2-day show.
Yeah.
So you were obviously that depleted going into that first day show.
Yeah, and I was pissed off. That was stupid.
Yeah, you're almost raging that you got called back the next day.
Because I was like, top 10. I was like, fucking right, I don't think I'm going to get top 10. They called me out top 10, and they were like, right, see you back tomorrow. And I was like, I remember getting off stage, looking at my dad, and all. Dad was like, what are you going to do? Go for food? And I was like, fucking can't even. I was miserable, mate. I should have been happy to be in the top 10. I was more miserable that I couldn't eat for a night. But yeah, it just shows you where your head's at, how high the hunger is. Like, you know,
you look at that leverage and it's like, you'd rather food than
You're like, I've just done well, that was like a 20-week, it was like an 20-week diet, and I was like, I can't even do another, like, you know, 18 hour day here. I was like, fuck, I need to eat. You know,
and even the discipline at that stage, like, you are your own coach, and obviously Phil had the approach of front loading.
Yeah.
And you could have been like, well, for the next one, I'll just
exactly.
I'll go and get a burger tonight.
Exactly, man. I didn't even, man. I just sat and I had my cream of rice, blueberries, and chicken all in one big bowl concoction, like, and I used to just mix it about. People always
chicken and cream of rice,
bro. Don't knock it till you try it.
Eat anything on prep.
You do.
Weird stuff. I remember.
I guarantee. I started to see it happen. Like, so I have, like, I'm not saying I'm a trendsetter, like, but I remember, like, 2-3 years ago, even whenever I was with Cal, like, I was making egg whites, cream of rice, blueberries, toffee drops, and cinnamon, and then I'd mix it all in, and it literally looked like vomit, like, but it tasted so good. And then next thing you know, I was seeing boys mixing in their chicken and mixing eggs in the cream of rice, and I'm like,
I remember the first diet
follow
plan.
Me, bro.
The first diet plan you gave me, and it was on that shoot prep, and I'm pretty sure there was something like
chicken and broccoli,
Greek yogurt and oats and blueberries, and it was some mad concoction. And I tried to make it once, and I just looked at it. I was like, I'm not eating.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a warm pudding. It's like a rice pudding.
But I wasn't hungry at this stage.
Oh yeah.
It was like the very start.
Oh,
so
I'm not eating that. I'm not eating that, lad. Yeah, give me something.
And I never went back to it.
Yeah,
like, I went and bought like 3 weeks supply of blueberries, and I don't like fruit. I'm weird like that. Like fruit and veg, I don't eat fruit and veg. I eat a banana. That is it.
Well,
and then I had leaves on prep. That was about it. But yeah, I bought like 3 weeks of blueberries. Like, right, I've got the diet plan, let's go. And then I went and made it. I was like, nope.
Not having that.
Almond blueberries there if you want.
Yeah. Can you change that, please, sir? What do you want? Steak and eggs?
I think I said, dear, like, well, don't just. I was like, yeah, I'll just use my Fitness Pal. I'll make up the same macros.
Coach is like, okay, yeah, no problem. You know what I mean? But I find, like, if you can do that, that's the best way to do it too on prep. Because I would have done that as well myself. And obviously, I do have a bit of genetics, good bit of genetics behind me. Like, but see if you're swapping sources about, and you know, the variety's not too much of a difference. Like, yeah, you'll be fine. You know, you know yourself.
So, like, that's the one thing I did. Like, 'cause I am a picky eater. Like, I'm a very picky eater, and even still, like, well, it's nearly a year now I haven't been bodybuilding, and like, I still eat the same meals. So I'm very, like, routine set. I'm very...
Do you still eat chicken?
Plain, yeah. I don't get bored chicken.
Man, I can't eat chicken anymore.
No?
Can't eat chicken anymore. Well, bar that Mexican chicken baguette I just had before this podcast.
If you don't know, I was sitting up here and... Josh's like, I'm starving here. He walked in with a Greg's.
Hungry. Me hungry.
Greg's lunch. This is your IFFBB Pro.
Yeah.
And he'll lose weight going into tomorrow.
You're right. I'm losing weight during this podcast. I know I can feel it. Do as I say, not as I do.
But yeah, no, chicken rice, I eat chicken and bagel. It's literally the same meals that I had on plan.
Yeah,
except cream of rice. I'm waiting until, like, I'm really, really craving cream of rice again, and then I'm gonna start throwing in.
See that caramel Biscoff, or no, caramel biscuit. Sorry, it's Biscoff.
No,
it's Biscoff. It's basically Biscoff flavour. It's called caramel biscuit.
I got the
complete strength.
Used to have the butter biscuit, my protein flavour drops, and then
yes. Oh, lad,
that's the business. Like,
I'm hungry.
There were some of those meals I loved, and then you compare that. Like, that's all I would be craving. Like, I remember it was the bulk I was on before the show, and I got to the stage where I literally couldn't eat. Like, I physically couldn't eat, and there'd be a day where I remember I went out the night before, and then I was like, I have a lot of food. Like, I probably woke up at 11. I was like, I don't know if I'm making this. Like, and I went into work, and I had a bowl of chicken and rice, a protein shake, I a full pack of rice cakes.
When you say protein shake, you just mean whey, yeah.
Yeah. And then threw cream of rice in there actually as well. Calories.
Yeah.
I had like half a kilo of Greek yogurt. I had 4 squash bars, and I remember you sending me this, or so. I remember you posting that, or so. Yeah,
I
was like, "Will I finish this before the end of my shift?"
Yes, and it was like 4 dishes of food. I was like, "Whoa, yeah." Talk about meal timing.
I know, and I was like, "This is a troop, like."
Yeah.
And it was awful.
But at the same time, like when you're at that, you just got to get it in too.
Yeah. And I remember fondly because I didn't eat the chicken and rice. And I'm pretty sure there was like protein brownies in the fridge. like 7
protein brownies,
7 grams of protein in them. I was like
7 grams
with
protein,
their protein brownies and their calories. I threw them in.
Yeah.
But that's like off season. All I was craving was just like, you know, you'd easier lean towards the sweet stuff because you'll be able to eat it.
Yeah.
Whereas like
true.
On prep, say, or like 6 weeks into prep, you're not exactly having those cravings yet. You just want to feel full.
Yeah.
So like I would go for chicken and rice over a shake of cream of rice and protein.
Yep.
Because it's probably the same calories.
Yeah.
But it's denser and it's,
you know, you
a
can
lot
eat
more
it
food.
and you're sitting and you're chewing and your brain knows you're chewing and stuff like that. Yeah.
I remember one of the meals on prep. It was a mixing bowl of veg, so about that high, big mixing bowl of veg. Not even cooked, like spinach, just dry spinach. I'm pretty sure I microwaved it for like 30 seconds. I don't even know. And then there was 4 egg whites and 1 egg, and I was buzzing to get that egg. Like it was the only. It's like 1 egg, runny yolk, popped it all over it.
What is the thing with prep like?
Sliced up chicken in there, and then I put it's like those skinny syrups.
Yeah.
Maple syrup.
Oh man, that's fucked.
So like put that in perspective. Leaves, egg white, chicken and maple syrup, and I was loving it.
Yeah, I know. Your taste palette changes completely when you're on prep. Like,
and I was enjoying it because like anyone who hasn't done a prep will never understand that. So I was putting them up in my story as like rate my plate, and just the feedback.
I remember I was going through a stage where I would, you know, that Faye yogurt, or I say Fige, but it's Faye. I was like dipping my chicken into that because I was like, oh, this tastes like sour cream, chicken and sour cream, mate. That's bad, mate. And it doesn't even taste like sour cream. It tastes like, it's like really sour. It's just bitter.
Chicken and yogurt, like?
Yeah, chicken and Greek yogurt.
I think there's good reason you don't like chicken anymore.
I probably, mate. Yeah, probably.
Stick some paprika on it. Just eat it like a normal person.
Stop dipping it in that Greek yogurt, mate, you weirdo.
Oh, it's mad.
Fuck's sake.
A quick shout out to one of our sponsors of the podcast, Drop It. Drop It are a clothing brand promoting mental health awareness through comfortable, fashionable and affordable clothes. Drop the stigma, drop the barriers, drop the ego, speak up. The brand have done a few different drops now with different styles, so if you like oversized fitting or regular fitting clothing, they've got you covered. And they've recently just released their sports clothing, which includes quarter zips, training t-shirts, vests, caps and more. So be sure to check them out. You can find them over on Instagram at dropit_speakup. And the link to their website is in their bio from there. Back to the podcast. So then on from the pro debut, who was your next coach after that?
JP, Jordan Peters, and he was like he was the first step in me going, right, okay, I've been serious, but no, I need to be serious because, like, obviously trained by JP, you know, I just wanted to impress him. You know, I was just like, it's Jordan Peters, man. He's just like, everyone knows him. I was like, I just want to impress him. So me and him got off on a really good start. Like, didn't end as well. So it didn't end quite well, like, because you know, lockdown happened, COVID happened and stuff, and like he was expecting me. I was training, but you know yourself, mate, lockdown happens, shit happens, like, and like he didn't like that on my behalf. And then I contacted him again. I was like, yo, mate, can we pick up again? And he like just didn't reply. And I was like, oh, okay, alrighty then. So I went to Cal, and Cal was best thing that happened. No, Cal was. Unfortunately, I never made it to the stage with Cal, but I just know if I did, that would have been something else because he was so meticulous. Mm-hmm. And we'll get into that. Like, but Jordan was very good. Jordan was the first kind of proper step in actually pushing things, you could say.
Yeah. And was that straight after your pro debut? Did you go for him for the rebound?
Yeah, straight after. So this was the best rebound I had ever. Like,
yeah, I remember seeing it. I was like 10 kilo up.
Man, like that was the start of like people actually going, dude, you're big. Like, no, you're actually big. And like I could start to feel big because like right off the bat, he was, as soon as I got home from Orlando, I actually sent him a message, and then he got back to me pretty quickly, and he was like, yeah, man, I've actually seen your physique. And he's like, let's do this, mate. And then we got on a call. He sent the plan over, and it was like 3 days after I got off stage. Now, bear in mind, I was in Orlando for a day after, so it was like the second day I was home, I was straight back in the plan. And food way up. I'll not talk about what I took, because then people are going to be like, oh, I'm going to take out that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, you know the score, like, and everything just went, you know, and it was, Jordan was very, very, very good coach, man. Very, very good coach, and that was my strongest ever physique.
I remember seeing it at that stage. It was...
I remember I had like, was it on the quad extension? He actually wrote to me. He was like, mate, you are a highly confused men's physique competitor. That was quote for quote what he said. Because I was like leg extending the full stack with another 6 plates. Six plates. It was another 120 in the full stack. And I was like, I had to get someone to hold my shoulders down because the weight would fucking lift me up. So I had the straps in and the belt in, everything. Someone pushing me down. And I was like, oh, this is easy. You know, I was like, what the fuck? It was mad. It was mad.
And that was when you were training at Warehouse, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing that, and I remember going on. There's a couple of times I had a membership at Warehouse, but I mostly just went on for like a day trip to the scenery. And I remember doing legs, and I was like, I've seen Josh do like 6 plates on top of this stack here. I wonder what I can do. I think I did get like 2 extra plates on it, which I was buzzing with. But like,
that's good, mate. Yeah, that is good.
It was everything. It was straps and the handles, and
it feels nice feeling strong, doesn't it? But I seen it before I do most of the 2, like, but. You know yourself from doing boxing and me doing MMA.
It's a different feeling, and it's tough. Like it's a feeling you appreciate whenever you convert to it, if you know what I mean.
Very true. Yeah, very, very, very true.
It's different.
Very true. Yeah, I was. The biggest thing for me was like, thinking I was strong and like, this macho man who can defend himself and all that shit.
Yeah. Nope. I remember being in Ibiza, and I was in decent shape going in Ibiza. It wasn't nearly my biggest or anything, but I remember a boy walking past like our wee booth thing in Ocean Beach, and he's like, "Oh, wouldn't want to start a fight with you," and I was like, you'd probably take me, like, you have no idea,
exactly.
Like,
you have no idea, man. Like, people just look at you and you're, whoa, you're a big boy, you can defend yourself. Like, no, not unless you actually
you can be 60 kilo and quick, and
lights out for me. Literally.
It is mad.
It is mad.
And Saul's a good example of that. Like,
exactly. Yeah, Saul's a very
like 60 kilo.
That's fucking ridiculous.
It's so light, like.
That is ridiculous.
But like the thing is, though, fighting for him.
Yeah.
Like, see John Jones, he's quite similar in that build. He's just really he's tall.
Yes, he is.
He's tall, but he's
taller than me anyway. He's such a good striker.
He was talking about going up the weight class just to be like more respected, because like people in the sport would be like, you're 60 kilo, but you're 6 foot. Go up a weight class and challenge yourself. Whereas like I'm like, no, take belts in your
exactly.
in your weight class. But
right,
he is light. Like he is light.
Yeah, but make under no illusion.
Yeah.
Under no illusion. Boy could knock the head off me if he wanted to. 1v1 me, so let's go. Me chucking. Don't. Stay at home, please.
He'd probably take us both at once.
You're all right, mate. He'd spin and kick me and then just right jab, elbow you or something. I don't know. Fuck, you do something.
We're only winding you up, so we've got you.
Yeah. I just choke you, get you in the headlock and do a move, you can't.
It's crazy, even the amount of skill. Like, you could be on him 100 kilo on top and he'd wriggle his way out.
I know. Like, you're like me. No disrespect. Like, you're like, oh, stand beside him, and you'd be like, oh, who'd win the fight? Everyone would go, oh, him. I'd be like, nah, nope. You know what I mean? And like, that's what I love about it. It's because like, it's a whole different ball game, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's a whole different ball game.
It's complete opposites. It's opposites of everything. That's the biggest thing I took away from it. It's opposites of everything that we train for. And I remember even being on a football pitch and we're like, but I remember it's the team I was at, and I probably could have made training, like, but I didn't train during the week. I just showed up on a Saturday and they played me. It's like, but you're in the gym during the week and you're doing, you'll be fit enough. And I was like, Do you know what bodybuilding is?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like, I'm not doing cardio. I'm purposely avoiding cardio.
We look good, but we don't feel good. You know what I mean?
And it's like, the nature of everything you do. It's like everything is slow and controlled, and that turns you into a slow animal. That is, you know, and it's so different. Like, at the minute, I went like 9-10 months without training legs because I was like, right, I'm boxing and football. It's not going to benefit me.
Yeah.
But like recently, I've gone in, and I'm not doing legs anywhere even close to what like we would have done legs.
Yeah.
But it's like explosive stuff.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird type of training.
Yeah, I know. See, this is the thing, man. I still haven't made that transition yet. Like,
so
in my own training, like, I'm still doing the bodybuilding style training.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But like, I've got back into doing bodybuilding upper body.
Yeah.
You know, I started going like push, pull, upper body, like 3 sessions a week just to try and make room. But at the minute, I'm enjoying the weights again. Like, but
no, that's good. Like, it's like it's you know yourself, man. It's like you've worked years to attain that muscle, and then once you have it, you're like, shit, I don't want to lose this because it's hard to get it back. Like, you know what I mean? It takes a lot of eating, a lot of gym sessions, a lot of sleep, a lot of everything. Like, you know, and it's once you have it, you want to keep it, but at the same time, you got to understand that it's maybe not optimal. Yeah, you know, for what we're trying to do right now.
Especially, like, obviously you'll be like super heavy with.
Yeah.
Whereas like I can still go up and down weight classes and see everyone who is around my weight. Like, I think I'm 72 or 73 kilo at the minute. Anyone who's 72 or 73 kilo are tall.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, tall. Yeah,
like, they are tall.
See,
like, there's boys I train with, and they're 64 kilo, and they're probably 6 foot.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I could maybe get down to 64 kilo if I do like a prep diet.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to be sitting here short.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know.
So,
yeah.
It's
the boys with muscle are fucked. Like, essentially, because you just get grouped up against people who are naturally taller and bigger. You know what I mean? Like, just bigger frame and stuff like that. Like, me, for example, like the photo we took today after like me doing the rounds with a few of the big boys, and like I'm the shortest there. I'm not short, like, but like those guys were tall, and I'm like, look at their size, look how long their arms are, look how long their legs are, and like when you're fighting someone like that, it's pretty intimidating. Like, you're like, you can reach me and I can't reach you, so I have to get a wee bit closer, but if I get closer, you can step back, and you know what I mean? It's just
chest match.
Yeah.
But no, that type of training, it's just not something I've ever done. It's like reps and reserve isn't something that we do.
Yeah, no.
We don't do reps and reserve unless you're maybe on prep and very, very late stages of prep where you literally, it may as well not be reps and reserve because you really don't have the energy to do those reps.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But like at the minute I'm doing like explosive stuff, and maybe you do like 5 reps and you're like, I could go for 15, but if I'm training this energy, you know, if you're training like for explosive speed, then you need to leave.
Yes.
You need to just leave it at that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and it's weird.
The outline of the session, there's so much depth in it. I remember doing strength and conditioning courses, and like the amount of detail they put into the programming is incredible.
Yeah.
You know, if you're doing that explosive stuff, you can work on speed for a maximum of like 3 sets. After that, you're not working on speed. So if you start with something else and then you do speed work, you're not building your speed.
That's interesting.
And it's crazy in depth. Like, don't get me wrong, if you're coming from like our background and you do a bit of speed work at the end of a session, you will get quicker. Because you haven't done it.
Yeah, you've never done it before.
But if you're like proper trained athlete and that, you can't do it. You know, like, those speed, that is just burnt.
Yeah, take your advice on that. You coach me for speed training, please.
But I couldn't get into it. I tried a few like upper body, explosive sessions, because obviously boxing's, it's quick and it's light, and I was like, the landmine press and just like exploding up. I was like, I just can't get into it. And that was during a phase. I lost everything when it came to training, and it's mental. It's hard to relate because obviously we've been training so long, but I knew what it felt like to be a beginner again. I was chest pressing and there was no connection. It was just like a muscle group you're working, and then it starts to get uncomfortable. It's like, oh, I want to stop.
The mindset and all is just not there.
I was like, should have been able to get like 12 reps and like stopped at 8 because it started to burn, and I wasn't feeling that muscle grip the way I should have felt it. And I was like, this is walked out of the gym a few times. Like, I was like, nah, it's brutal.
I don't know. I mean, there was one time last week, like, I went in the gym, just walked out. I was like, fuck this. Like, I haven't done that in years, mate. But when it comes to, I've been training for like 10, 11 years. 11 years. Been doing weights now over a decade, and Like, I enjoy it. I always will enjoy it. But yeah, it's just coming in, and I just knew the first exercise was off. I was warming up on the pec deck, and I was doing half the weight, and I was burning out. And I'm like, something's wrong here. I'm just going to go off and just sleep. And I done that. And, yeah.
It's so different when you're not training for something though, as well.
Exactly.
Like, I got the gym on Thursday, and I was going to go to the gym and then go on to football after. And I pulled up outside the gym. I was like, could go for a nap here, like. So I went for the nap,
catching flies,
and then I went to football. Everything's fine, but like, you picture doing an off season, or like if you're thinking about competing or anything like that, and that would just never be an option.
Yeah, exactly. If you miss one rep, that would ruin my day.
Literally, like if you're not progressing on one of those lifts,
would ruin your day.
Something's not right. I need to do something.
Yeah. And you're walking in and going and freely going, hey, fuck this. I'm out. You know what I mean?
It's almost like it's the gym's turned into a playground again. Where it's like, oh, what I fancy doing today.
Literally, that's what I said to your boy Ben Diesel, English fella over here now. He's like training at gym doc. And he was just watching me, and he's like, oh, what are you doing? I was like, anything. I was like, just bouncing between this machine, and then you go on to my Instagram, and you hear me going, you have these guys coming into the gym, and they're just bouncing between equipment, and then there's me in next week, bouncing between equipment. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I know what I'm doing, but it's not to say like, oh, everyone should go bouncing between equipment, especially if you're a beginner or even intermediate and you want to get advanced. You need structure. You need structure. You need structure.
You need to be progressing.
Well, Josh Coyle said this, so I'm going to do it, because don't do that.
Yeah. I recorded a video the other day. I haven't posted yet. I was like, if you're coming into the gym without a plan,
you're
just
fucked.
Go home.
Yeah, you are though, because like it is too. You're going to sit there and like, you know, your mindset's not going to be there. You're going to be looking about, and you're just going to be like, you know, what will it do next? But if you go in, you go like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Whilst you're on the previous exercise, before you get to that next exercise, you already know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So you're going into it like a lot quicker and sharper.
That's why I was big into logbooks.
Yeah, same.
And there's a lot of hit and miss. There's a lot of
like, oh, you can create stimulus in a different way, you know. Like,
but I was a fan of the logbook, even just for the mental aspect of getting psyched in to a session.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting there on a Tuesday, and I know I've got incline pressing with dumbbells on a Thursday. I'm like, right, I'm getting those 47. I'm getting those 50s up.
Yeah,
you know, I got 8 reps of 47, so surely I can get the 50s for 5.
Yeah,
and like, it just, don't get me wrong, if you're really into your training, you'll remember what weight you done for what reps. But having them written down, and like, I used to log my session before.
Yeah.
So like, I'd have all the exercises, and then if I really wanted to get those 50s up, I would do 50s for 5. And I'm like,
yes. Yeah. See, that's psychological too. Like,
But that's the biggest reason I enjoyed it.
That works.
Yeah.
There you go.
100%. I was like,
there you go.
Because I remember again when I was going to Ibiza, I was like, right, I'm getting the 50s up before I go.
Yeah.
And I remember doing it. I was like, right, I can go to Ibiza.
If
not, I was going to try and come back in the gym 2 days later.
Like, find a gym over there in Ibiza before you get on it. Right, mate, I need to get 50s up somewhere before I hit the gym.
Get on it and then get the 50s.
Easy done.
Lift anything. Next up, Cal.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Cal.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Like, Cal's like the father figure for everyone. Like, that's like, you just go on his Instagram, and there's like, everyone's like, Cal is my dad. Cal is my dad. Like, he literally is. And do you know what the scary thing is, mate? He's only like 3 or 4 years older than me.
Yeah, that's mad.
Isn't that mad?
I remember finding out his age, and I was like, nah.
Yeah, and that's what I was seeing with Phil. I found out Phil Grimsey, and I was like, what? And then I found out Cal's age. I was like, what? You know what I mean? But no, Cal's brilliant. From the process where you get on call with him, and you're like, look, and you're face to face, and you're talking, like, the attention to detail he goes in, and then once you get the plan, you're like, okay, yeah, this boy doesn't miss. Like, yeah, you know, like everything, like. Is going into details. It was like, how many shits did you have yesterday, and what were the textures of your shits? Like, were they runny? Were they soft? Like, you know what I mean?
Like, it scale.
Yeah.
Like this.
They called it the stool chart. You know, the stool, like stool movements.
Yeah.
So they called that stool movements. Like, how many shits did you take and all? I was like, do you really need to know this, lad? And then we got pretty close, and I was like, Cal, I can't be fucked filling this in every day. And he's like, that's all right, just send photos and wait. And I was like, thank you. Yeah. But no, Cal's brilliant. Like, fair play to the guy. He gets up. Now, I don't know if this is completely accurate, like, but I remember whenever I was staying at his house, he would be up from about 5 in the morning, and he would be in his office till about 8. He would come out and then have his lunch, have his breakfast, his pre-workout meal, go back into the office for an hour, leave, go to the gym, come back home. It would be 12 or 1 o'clock, and that is him on till dinner, 6 o'clock. He would then have his dinner, and then he would go 6 to about 10, and then he would go sit in the sofa with Hannah at 10 o'clock and spend like an hour with Hannah, so she'd fall asleep on the sofa. As soon as she falls asleep, bang, straight up back in the office till like 1 in the morning. He done that daily, mate.
What?
Isn't that mad? It's like 18-hour days, like. Isn't that fucked? And he does that day in, day out, and that's why, to be fair, that's why he is where he is, like.
Wow.
Isn't that mad? I know. And like,
that is being obsessed with your craft.
And like obviously, you know, mate, I've been through relationships and all, and like I get made to feel like I'm a dickhead for being on my phone talking to clients when I'm with someone, and I'm like, bro, I'm not ignoring you. Like, this is my business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure you probably get it too.
Yeah.
Like any coach, she has it, and like if they have a girlfriend, you'll probably have that. Like, with Cal and Hannah, the mutual understanding is so clear between the two of them. Like, literally, Hannah will have his meals on time for, you know, at the end of the day, like, yeah. It's just,
does she work, or does she?
Yeah, so she would have done videography and photography for Eddie Hall.
Oh,
so she was Eddie Hall's content guy. Or
so
girl.
I think that is perspective as well, because she is self-employed.
Yeah.
Or was self-employed.
Yeah.
So she knows that work isn't a 9-to-5 thing.
Yeah.
She knows that, you could get a text at any time. You need to get back quickly. You know, you need to be sharp on the ball.
And then Cal actually employed her for like his ProCoach thing. So like, obviously now they go together everywhere. Whereas Cal just would have had to go. It was just Cal, and then she had her separate work with Eddie, but she stopped working with Eddie. Now she's working with Cal. So you see them like, it's nice to see they're going all the countries like every 2 weeks they're away. Like,
class.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's class.
Oh,
it is. Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, it's being self-employed. Obviously, it is that thing. It's like it's not a 9-to-5. Like, it's you don't have set hours. So like, I'm getting into bed at night, and then I see if like 3 clients have texted me and someone's put an order in for clothes. I'm just like, right, well,
may as well do
I'm gonna have to get this out of the way now. Otherwise, I'll not be able to sleep because I'll know if
I'm mad, man.
Tough balance that. Yeah. But no, that's some level of depth from Cal. Like,
isn't it? Ridiculous hours. Ridiculous hours. Like, I was getting woken up by Hater. Sorry if I said your name wrong. Before he, like, that guy done like 23 pro qualifiers before he got his pro card, mate. 23. It was 20 something. Like, it was 23. It might have been 22 or something. I don't know, but it was in the 20s, mate. I remember him posting this, and he was trying for like 3 years. And every time he was coming second, third, fourth, second. Yeah, and like, it was always turning up. And I was getting woke by him at like 5:30 in the morning. And like, Cal was just have his boys down, just posing, you know, just coming down. I'm like, fuck, it's still dark outside, and he's already, you know, on the ball. Like, you know what I mean? It's just mad. Yeah, it's cool. Like,
but again, that's what it takes.
That's what it takes. Honestly, I would argue.
Level of coaching.
I was just going to say that. Arguably, say that he's probably the best, if not the best coach in the world. You know, like, I guarantee you, if Big Ramy went to Cal, or Phil Heath back in his prime went to Cal, he would do just as good as what, like, you know, fucking, what do you call him? Hanny Rambod would have done, you know, like, no, without a doubt, mate. Because Cal can make a shit physique fucking amazing in like 2 years. Yeah, you know, like, any type of genetics, any type of background, like, his guys get insane, and it's not as difficult of a process as you think. Like, it's just, I think when you're that much of an established coach, athletes already know before they get to you, you cannot miss. You know what I mean? Because like, when you're at that level of coaching, like you're expecting, you attract top tier athletes when you're a top tier coach. Yep. You know, and like, it's good to see.
And like, you've seen that, because anytime there was, you know, real top level shows anywhere, like, it could be America, it could be UK, and Cal would have a post up of like 7 different athletes that competed that weekend. Yeah. And like, you see where those hours go. Yeah. They're probably checking in twice a day.
Exactly. If not, mate.
That's one show, and then 2 days later.
In between every meal. So what's that, like 6 check-ins a day, mate? Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's one client, like, you know. And
some of them will be doing waiting photos, some will be doing shit charts. And
I know, man. Some will be like, standing, like, peeing in bottles like that, mate, and sending them across, going like, that's how much piss I've pissed the last like 6 hours. What do you want me to drink? And he'd be like, mate, measure that out in a different cup and drink it. You know what I mean? It's just
I wouldn't
we
understand another body.
Yeah, no, it's just
that is
crazy. Like, yeah,
that's mental.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mental. Jesus.
Oh, Cal, big Cal. He looks like Shrek. That's like, you call him that, like, he's big Shrek. Man, he's massive. See in person, he's like 6'6".
Yeah,
he
I've
is so. But like, he's built too, mate.
Yeah,
because he's always like beside his massive bodybuilders. You're like, yeah, but when you go to him in person,
because
he's a rugby player.
He did look really good. And he's kind of put his bodybuilding career to the side.
Yeah, because I think
it would be impossible.
I think
to do.
it was. What was it? Like one of his. Correct me if I'm wrong. It was either him or his brother was like a professional English, or was going to be professional English player, or English rugby player. Yeah, and Cal was second row, and I knew Cal was very good, so it probably could have been him. But just goes to show you, man, he's a big boy, big brute. Yeah,
because I remember it would have been probably years ago. The last time he posted an update of himself, but he was bodybuilding.
Yeah,
and then it's just like completely like.
No, it's just,
and you see why when you listen to his schedule like that.
Yeah, mate. When you have a schedule like that, impossible. How you can even have time to think it? Yeah, but it's great.
Daft.
Credit to him, man.
Did you watch that rugby last night?
Yeah. I didn't watch the Ireland game. I fell asleep. It was like
was not?
For half I watched the first 5 minutes and boom.
Because that was the only one I watched. They were
good.
Proper business, proper business.
On the boys.
And next week's the
New Zealand.
quarterfinal. Yeah, I think it is New Zealand.
That's a big one.
Be big.
That is a big one.
Training partners.
Yeah. So
the importance of them and. Rank your favourites. I'm going to start the pot here. Because it is so important.
No, the importance of training. So this is like, there's having a training partner and then having a good training partner. You know what I mean? So like people, there's training partners out there, and like, don't get me wrong, mate, like, it's always good that maybe sometimes people don't even want to go to the gym in the first place, so they maybe rely on their training partner to get them there. But that's automatically a red flag, you know. I remember
extrinsic motivation rather than intrinsic, because
I remember back in the warehouse days, mate, it would have been me, Danny McCavery and Robbie Green. Shout out to them two boys. Like,
exactly the two that I was thinking of.
Yeah, bro. Like, the competitiveness was class. Like, I was at the start of my lifting career, like bodybuilding career, like Robbie was stronger than me, so I was like, right, I want to get stronger in that then I got stronger than him. But like, whenever I was stronger than him, like, you could tell he was like, right, I would buckle under 6 reps, and if anyone was envious, they'd go, right, okay, they'll take the weight away, right, don't stop that. But he'd be like, mate, fucking 6 more. And I go, I mean, I can't even do 1. He's like, you're not getting off until you do 6. And like, mate, that there's been years since I've had that. Like, years.
That's like the healthiest type of competitiveness.
Yes, yeah. Like, and then like, he would get on it, and like, he'd get like the same reps, and then I'd be like, right, mate, 6 more, you're matching me. And he's like, fuck that. And then if he did match me and he could get another one, I'd be like, do another one, beat me. And like, he would do it, and then he'd be like, right, okay, you beat me next set. You know what I mean? That's what it's like, man. It was like that all the time.
I've had similar.
Yeah.
But training partners in general, like, there are times that you want to go in the gym on your own. Yeah. And like, you're in that headspace, and maybe you're just got your earphones in, you're just feeling it.
I think, it just depends on how you're feeling that day, you know, what's going on in life and stuff like that. And like, I think, like, you always see guys when they go in the gym that don't want to talk to people. You're like, okay. I get it, like, you understand, like, but then you also see guys that are coming in and they find the gym is like an escape, and they'll like a social thing as well. Like, don't get me wrong, they'll train hard, they'll train heavy, but there's a lot of
talking. Commercial gyms are terrible for that. You see, to be fair, you see a lot of that in the doc.
Yeah,
it's a very social.
Bro, that's not seen the story. That's,
bro, that's and like, I love the doc. The bits, like, I absolutely love it. I love the people there, but I got like 8 weeks out, and I was like,
dude, it's far too social. I don't know if it's because it's just in close proximity. Everything's in close proximity to each other. All the machines are very close together, and it just seems like a kind of tight fit. But yeah, man, like, I even posted up my story. I was like, how do you say, how can I not be a cunt and turn around and go, mate, don't talk to me without sounding rude? Because like, I'm in there to train. Like, mate, I'd walk about with my earphones in. Won't even be playing music.
Yeah,
I just don't want. Yeah, I mean, you just don't want anyone to talk to you, mate. And like, that's not an arrogance or a stubborn thing. Yeah. It's just more of a personal thing. Like, how I like, and like, you know, I deal with guys outside of the gym every hour. Like, I'm talking to someone, and it's about the gym.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, and then when you get in the gym, you're like, right, this is my time. But when you got someone coming over and fucking standing over the top and going, here, mate, can you just watch the way I you? What do you think about this here? If I change this handle to that handle, is it going to make any difference? And I'm like, bro, I'll always answer, but like I will make it obvious that I don't want to. You know what I mean?
Like a short, abrupt answer, and it does. I'm the exact same. That's where I struggle with the gym, is find a gym in Lisburn that I can just go in and train.
Yeah, and like you're from Lisburn, so you always want to know
exactly.
people
It does, no matter what gym it goes to. I could be at MyFit, and then there's a 10-minute catch up with someone, and like it's people who I am close with and I haven't seen in a while, so I want to catch up with them.
Yeah, but then you leave the gym and you're going, shit. Yeah.
It's such a tough balance.
Yeah, it is.
I remember being up at the dock, and your big lad Harry Greer, the young one, the blonde one, but he's really built.
He's blown up this year, bro.
Big time.
Yeah.
And he's going places.
He is going places. I remember seeing him and I was like, whoa. Like he was good last year. Yeah, he just looked like a normal dude that lifted last year, but this year that boy's caught my eyes.
He's like 20, 21.
Yeah, I mean, he's caught my eyes a few times, like, and I could see I'm like gravitating towards him. I'm going, fuck, the size of his back, or his arms and his shoulders. I'm like, whoa.
I remember talking to him on prep, and he was like, "You're probably not even playing music in your earphones, are you?" I was like, "No." How'd you know? And it's tough. It's tough to be able to say, make eye contact with someone and say, "All right," and walk on whenever you are close with them.
I know. Yes, I know. I mean? Yeah, I know.
I do think it's different when you're on prep. When you're on prep, people know.
people just like, I know. But then I know. But like again, like I'll know guys that, like I know one guy in particular that you cannot disturb him under his set. He will go so fucking, he'll get so angry, but he'll be breathing down my neck during a set, expecting me to fucking do it, and I'm just like, bro, come on. And I'm just like, come on. There is a fine line between, just letting someone enjoy their training, but at the same time, if you want to have a chat with them, just fucking wait till they're finished and they're walking out of the gym.
There's decency to it. And that Club 24 that opened in Lisburn, it's obviously where the yard used to be, so it's all the yard members, and obviously me PTing working in the yard. Everybody is there for a chat, and like it got to the stage, I remember being in the yard actually, and I think I was on my bulk and I was like really like logbooking, so serious, and it was in the middle of a cluster set on dead stop shoulder press, just on 3 sets. And I was waiting for those 20 seconds, and someone's like, and now the fella comes along behind me, was like, oh, and I was like,
I mean, I know.
I'm trying to breathe here.
I know, but you're like me, mate. You want to be nice. You don't want people to go, "You're a fucking prick."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you'll be like, if I was on prep, I'd be like, "Mate, piss off." Yeah, but like when I'm not on prep, I'll be like, "I don't want to do this," but okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then in my head, as I'm talking to them, as I'm replying to them, the other half of my brain's going, "Ding, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And you're just like, yeah.
Such a tough balance.
I know. Yeah.
Gyms and, well, I was going to say this country, but overall, best gyms you've been to?
Best? Yeah. Well,
start off in this country.
Yeah, okay. Well, best gyms that I've been to in here, like this is a thing, right?
So there's two that stand out to me, and it's the Dock and Warehouse.
Yeah.
I haven't been up to Empire.
I haven't actually been up to Empire as well, mate. It does look well. Like, whenever, from a bodybuilding perspective, best gyms I've been to, yes, 100%. Gym Dock number 1, Warehouse number 2, 3rd. Honestly, this might sound quite ridiculous, but like, Academy 1 has some pretty good pieces of equipment.
I've never been.
Because like, I think of there's not that many other gyms, but I think of Invictus, I think of Flex, I think of MyFit, and out of all 3 of those gyms, the upkeep and the maintenance of the machines are fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that degrades a gym so much because the owner isn't there to see it firsthand. The owner doesn't give a fuck. Whereas you go to Warehouse and you go to Gym Dock, guess what? The owner's there morning to night.
All day.
Yep, all night. And what are they doing? Looking about the machines, wiping down the machines, doing everything themselves. You go to these other gyms, the owner's nowhere to be seen. So
it makes a world of difference, and it shows you the level of care. You know what I mean? It's like they clearly take pride in their business.
Yeah, definitely. And like, best, like Gym Dock is honestly it's not the most aesthetic gym, and like I've told Rob that, and like I came in, it was like 2 weeks ago, I came in, he got honeycomb lights. I was like, Rob, I hope you don't, before this I was like, Rob, I hope you don't mind me doing all these reels in different gyms, mate. And he was like, no, but I understand, it's like all to do with the aesthetics, and getting people to click on because there's a nice white or black background with like white downlighting and all, whereas the gym doc is all just cluttered and like different colours and shit.
Proper old school.
Yeah, and like
Cold.
proper,
I love it in the winter when it's freezing.
There's
something about it.
I mean, I walked in, what did he have? He spent $5,000 on honeycomb lights above the reception. I was like, oh, that's nice. I was like, it's so modern, but the gym's so like not modern. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, this
Josh,
is
you
weird.
can do your reels here.
Yeah, I know. Literally, he's like, it's real good. Brightens up the place, but apparently he's getting those honeycomb lights in the other.
Yeah, because he just got another unit.
He's got the other unit, and he's just doing
exciting
all the way down. Yeah, that is.
That'll
good.
be mega.
Yeah, that's going to be a full leg day or full leg facility gym.
But again, that's the next level that you see as well. It's like the reinvestment in the gym.
Exactly.
And
he can happily pocket that money.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't even ask his PTs for rent, mate.
And he's like, what, like 5, 6, 7 kids as well?
Yeah,
like
I mean, 6 kids.
Big family.
Six kids, mate.
Yeah,
6 kids.
And a dog.
Yeah, no wonder he's never at the fucking house, mate. He's probably like, fuck
yeah, like such a big family. It's like you could obviously treat, and I'm sure he does, but you could treat them to, you know, buying them all these things, and it's just going straight back in the gym.
Yeah.
And he's got that long term vision though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you can see him like he's asking questions and like picking your brain, and like he's very open.
Yeah,
he's very open.
He's never switched off. Yeah, he's just one of those people. Like he'll be in there at 6 o'clock in the morning. He'll be like, right, what I need.
Yeah. Literally, I was like, Rob,
it's just working.
Yeah, I was like, Rob, you need brighter lights. That's what I said to him. You need brighter lights if you want content, like actual downlights. Like people like downlighting, especially if you want those. If you want that type of marketing through social media, you need to have a nice aesthetic gym where people will want to take photos. He went and got the honeycomb lights. I said to him about punch bags. He's getting punch bags in the new facility. Sunbeds, how I had to go down to Banbridge to get a sunbed. He's got 4 sunbeds. You know what I mean, mate? He just listens, and whatever you tell him, he does. And like that's the difference between keeping your customers happy and using your customers to keep you happy. You know what I mean?
And even his personality, you come through the door, it's like, he remembers everyone's name.
Yes, exactly. He shut the leg off.
How are you? How'd this go? And he remember like every detail.
Well, it's a funny wee story. Like me and Rob got off on the wrong foot with me because I was mates with Phil Graham. Fuck's sake, and Rob doesn't like Phil. He doesn't like Phil. I posted him about it. I posted him about it one day. I was like, Rob, you know I can't tag the gym because it doesn't come up my Instagram. Here he was. What do you mean, son? I was like, I think you've blocked me. He was like, no, I haven't blocked you. He's like, hold on, I'll get my phone up. Mate, motherfucker's blocked by 500 people. I'm not joking, mate. His block list was like, he had like 6 like full swipes, and then he was like, oh, yes. And then what he said, he was like, son, it's just me and Phil had a bit of a fallout, and I thought if anyone's with Phil, it must be an asshole. And he was like, mate, I love you in a bit, mate, you know that? And I was like, listen, me and Rob are like that now, like,
It's probably the fear of like, Rob's doing something, someone's going to feed it to Phil.
Yeah, exactly.
I think either of them would have been interested. Like they're both.
Listen, like they're both exactly, mate. They're both killing their own shit. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Rob's got the best running fucking gym in the country.
Yeah.
In Northern Ireland, fact. And Phil Graham is probably one of the best fitness coaches in the world.
They're not fussed on with each other.
Yeah, they're not on each other's toes.
It's not like two wasters down the road or falling out. Or heats are saying each other stuff.
Or Rob's out here trying to teach coaches how to get clients, you know what I mean? Rob's just happy to have a gym, mate, and have happy members, like,
two businessmen, like,
yeah, exactly.
2 adults.
2 adults,
And then what about outside of Northern Ireland? Best gyms you've been to?
Well, best gym was probably Strength Asylum, mate. But like I went to Powerhouse in Orlando, was pretty good, but I didn't know. See, this is the thing. Whenever I have like gym experiences, I just remember, who was there, what was the music like, what was the atmosphere like, and what was the session like. How did you feel after the session?
That's the interesting thing, is it depends on what you're looking.
Yeah.
You could go to the dock and it's like old school and all the rest of it, and then you could go to MyFit, and it might seem like you might get a better session in MyFit because it's blasting and there's dark lighting or something like that.
Exactly, yeah. So like for body, like that's another thing we can go in about and say, like, people might pick up off this and go train a gym doc, but the next thing you know, they're just a guy who maybe works a 9 to 5. He's a dad. He's not really as serious in his weights, and he just goes in the gym doc and he's like, fuck, this is just all machines and little no music and big guys walking about shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to go here, but like, and then they'll go into Club 24 and be like, oh, look at all these lights. It's like
the charts.
Exactly. But nah, I think definitely think Rob's going the right place anyway, like with his gym, definitely. But across the water, mate, hammer strength, 100%, because Eddie Hall, Martin Ford was there. Phil Heath, I didn't see him, but Phil Heath was doing, like, whenever I was over there for like a week. I was training over there. I was actually going to move over there, mate. That was a mad thing.
Yeah,
because Manchester. I had actually spoken to the guy who's trying to sign on. He was going to get me set up with a place, and he was going to charge me a $5 per client instead of charging me fixed rate. Whatever client I brought in, because obviously
you're going across the water.
Across the water, like, and he was all for it, and I was like, yeah, fuck. But then I was seeing a girl at the time, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I do not want to do this. I was like, back off. But like, it would have been, now that I'm thinking about it, probably would have worked out quite well, man, because see, when you're over there in England,
it's who you surround yourself with, 100%. Yes. And bodybuilding is mad over there.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
They all, IFFBB, they're like, yeah, I know that. You go over here, they're like, IFFBB, what? No one knows what an IFFBB Pro card is over there. It's very little, like a very small amount. Like, you go over there, everyone's like, oh, IFFBB Pro, wow, shake my hand. Over here, like, what the fuck's that? You know what I mean? Everyone, like, no one knows.
It's different over there. Like, and I think, obviously, when you're in the position that you were in as well, you know, you need to be surrounded by people like-minded.
Yeah.
Like, I know I went through that phase where, like, I didn't see my mates for months because none of them got it.
Yeah.
Like, obviously they understand I'm bodybuilding and all the rest of it, but, like, I couldn't talk to them about bodybuilding. They'd be like, what's the best exercise to do if, you know, I want to tone up? And I'm like, I just like, lads, I'm on night out, just leave me alone.
That's the thing that as well, man. Like, I'm sure, like, it's annoying.
Yeah,
it's annoying. I always used to say, lads, I'm on a night out to get away from this gym chat, and then you get the odd guy who's so blocked coming up to you in the smoking area, and he's like, mate, the fucking watching your shit, or like, I aspire to be, or it's like, mate, can I have a photo and send it to my fucking dad? My dad follows you, and I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, I'm just sitting here, like, I'm a normal guy, mate, that just likes to lift a bit of weight and document my life. I'm like, what are you doing? But like, and then like, if you just walk into a bar and like, you're the biggest guy there, they're all going to look at you, and if you make eye contact with any one of them, automatically, oh, hey, you're a big lad. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you do, mate? You must do the weights. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. I came out to get away from it, but it just follows you everywhere you go.
But I remember, it was only a few weeks ago, and like, well, no, sorry, probably a couple months ago now, and this is a stage where like, I was barely lifting any weight, and I just, no interest.
Yeah.
And I was doing a lift home, so I was sober as well. And then there's a boy walks past, and I was like, oh, he's a talker. He is a talker. No. And I was just like, right, head down. And he walked past, and then he's like, oh, look, what's the crack? What gym you at now? I'm training here. I squatted this the other day. I was like, oh, fuck. Man, I want to go home.
Yeah.
I was like, can you tell him to hurry up? So and I didn't want to. I know. By the end of the day, he was that blocked as well. I was like, he'll not remember this. So.
Yeah, piss off, mate.
I want to get them so I can go. Fair enough.
Yeah, no.
Fair enough. A quick shout out to another sponsor of the podcast, MC Nutrition. MC Nutrition have you covered for all of your supplement needs, whether it be protein powder, pre-workout, creatine, amino acids, energy gels, anything that you can think of, they have you covered. They stock the best and most popular brands, including NXT, Chaos Crew, and my personal favourite, Iron Elite. Iron Elite is genuinely the nicest protein powder that I have tasted, and best of all, it gets delivered straight to your door. Head over to their website at www.mcnutrition.shop or find them on Instagram at mcnutrition0. Back to the podcast. You still on the vapes?
Yeah, I'm still on the vapes. Yes and no. Like, I am a vapor, but I'm not I wouldn't say I'm a vapor. Like, cause I'll buy those wee small vapes, and that's what I'm saying. It'll last me like 6-8 weeks. Like, and it doesn't really.
That is a long time.
Yeah, because I need, it's like, when I'm driving, I need a fidget.
A fidget, yes.
I just leave it in the car. It doesn't go into the house or into work or anything. Like, if I'm out and about for a day, it's never in my pocket. It's just in the car for when I'm driving. Like, so.
It's something to fidget with. That's what I found. Yeah. So I think I went through a spell where like it was maybe like 6 or 8 weeks that I was on them, and it would have been like one a day, and like I was hooked. It was just the addiction.
Yeah.
But I wasn't busy at the time either. It was like you'll know as a coach, like November, December, it's your quiet time of the year. So I wasn't doing that many hours. So like I'm coming in the gym for 2 sessions, leaving, going somewhere else, and like in the car, and then in between I'm just fidgeting away.
Yeah.
But no, I got on the zero nicotine ones, and then that kept the habit.
Yeah,
without having the nicotine
withdrawals.
And then eventually I just looked at it, I was like, oh,
no, fair.
But
you
people
stop vaping now.
struggle to get off. Yeah, that's me completely. Half it.
There you go, all you struggling to get off, looks your man.
There actually have been, like, we
recovering addict.
we have a group chat, all the boxers. They're all fighting in November here.
Yeah.
And they're like, how'd you do it?
They need to lay off the vapes. Like,
it's
bad for your respiratory system.
So bad for fitness.
Yeah.
So bad for fitness.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I noticed. It was like 2 weeks, and I was like, flip, I can play a full 90 minutes here again.
That's mad.
It's so different.
It's crazy.
Keeping with the bodybuilding then, what do you think it takes to be a competitive bodybuilder?
What does it take to be a competitive bodybuilder? You really have to be on your shit.
Yeah.
Like, as generic as that sounds, but from the smallest things, from your sleep to your intensity in the gym to your daily habits of, like, you know, following a food plan, all these wee small things, like even the amount of sets that you're doing in a workout, you know, it's like stuff like that. Like, for you to be a competitive bodybuilder, sorry, was that the question? Yeah. For you to be a competitive bodybuilder, patience, have a coach. Like I said, man, it's just being on your shit, like knowing what you're doing every single day before you go to bed, and having your days planned before that, so obviously so you know what you're doing.
Exactly what my next question is what do you think the importance of routine is for a bodybuilder?
Yeah, so routine's everything though. That's how you get competitive, you know, for a routine, because you look at the pros, like, what do? They're full-time bodybuilders. Yes, they're lucky to be in that position, but they lived that life outside of their full-time job before they became full-time bodybuilders, without a doubt. Like,
did you ever hear Brightman talk about his?
No.
I think he was doing 9 to 5 right up until lockdown.
Yeah.
And even during lockdown he was still doing his 9 to 5, but he had like 100 online clients outside of that, and he was managing the both. And then it wasn't, I don't know why I didn't do it sooner, but it took him ages to actually quit.
Conversion.
But you gotta be living that life.
You do though. You really do.
It's obviously incredibly difficult, but it's like not being afraid to stand out as well, because you could be in like a 9 to 5 office job and like you're taking a break every 2 hours to.
And people are going to look at you going, "What the fuck are you eating out of a plastic Tupperware dish? Like, why are you eating, you know, steak, rice, and like 5 nuts and like 3 rice cakes?" You know what I mean? It's like, why are you, like, you know, people are going to be like, "Why are you doing that?" But then again, those people that are saying that will never have that level of like determination or maybe just commitment that they want to change their lives around, and like they maybe just be happy, you know, doing that 9 to 5. Whereas
people are built different. People are built different. Like, you will have, and like you'll see it in your group of mates as well. They're like, I have one, for example, I was like, "Oh, would you ever travel?" I was like, "Nah." I was like, "Why not?" I was like, I'll do maybe like a month or something, and then I just want to come home. I'm like, live. You know what I mean? Leave your comfort zone. It's people that won't leave their comfort zone, and it annoys me. It does annoy me to see, and I know everyone's not the same, but like, I just guarantee that they would feel better. You know, it's wee things like that, like traveling. Like,
it's like people as well that like just say shit and they're not going to do shit. Like, I have grown. I've been, obviously, I can't say that because I have said that before, like, and I've noticed myself like going, "Why the fuck am I just talking about this and I'm not doing this?" You know what I mean? Like, that's one of my pet peeves, like, and I've been guilty of it here and there, but that's not to say that I will do it again, like, because definitely won't, like, but it's one of them things as well. It's just people like to talk a good game, but they just don't. There's like actions. What is that? Action speaks louder than words. You know, I think that saying can never be true.
That actually reminds me of inquiries. Time wasters.
Oh lad, I've had, it was funny this week, man. I've had 3 people get on call, and I'll save their number, and they're like, "Yes mate, brilliant, price unbelievable, can't wait to start." Right, I'll save their number, send them a message, the onboarding process, I'll get that all across to them. Don't hear from them. Well mate, do you want this spot? Don't hear from them. Like, fuck me, You know what I mean? I might start charging people for consultation calls, but then you feel guilty for the people that are going to stick.
Yeah.
You know?
It's difficult. It's tough to find a balance with it, like, because like I had one, I went and met them in the gym. I was talking away to them, and I was like, and he's like, well, you know, I'm doing this, so probably 2 weeks, and I'll be ready to start. You know, I was like, happy days. I'll keep your spot for you. That's all good. It's about 3 months ago, and like each time it's just like, no mate, I think next week or the week after. And it's like, you can see it in people. It's like,
yeah. You can
it's tough, like, because you need to want it. And like as a coach, you can't make someone want it.
Yeah.
Like that's
very true.
And I know myself, like I'm very self-critical. So like if a client is, maybe they start off really well and then they start to go downhill, it's like just get back tracking your food, and you try all these different techniques to get into them. It's like, all right, do you want a food plan? Do you want to just do calories and macros? Do you want the freedom to do this? And you try all these different approaches, but at the end of the day, you can't make them want to change.
Yep. Very, very true. Yeah, you can give them, like I say, you can give them a blueprint, but it's up to them to follow through. Like, you know,
and that's why clients do deserve so much credit whenever they do get the results, because it is them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like shout out to one of my clients, Anton Douglas, the guy who used to be a cross-dresser DJ that swallowed pills, took cocaine, didn't eat, smoked figs,
in London,
lived in London, was all about that
I read
lifestyle.
this wee article he put up today.
And whenever like, don't get me wrong, whenever he came to me and he was telling me all these things, like automatically you're going to be like, shit, this guy might be hard to harness. Bro, I've been coaching him for what, like a year and a half now, just shy of a year and a half, and he has not once slipped. And like even now post show has not once slipped. I'm like, you know what, mate, I'll fucking shake your hand.
You
know, I'm like, fair play to you.
Sometimes people like that shows he wants it.
Exactly.
I mean? Like he clearly wants better.
Yes, he wants it, and like you know for a fact it's like having that guy in your team's the best thing, because like not only is it like just really good for, you know, the business side of things, you know, because he's going to get progress, but like you can tell that like his life has fucking changed around, and like that makes you feel so good as well. Like it's nice to know that, like, you know, we've all been through different scenarios in life and all, people come from different backgrounds and all, but like when you see someone's life literally change for the better, and you know yourself, mate, you're a coach as well, when you like have a guy who comes overweight and they've lost like 3 stone and they come in and you don't recognize them, they're smiling, they're beaming, they're like, you know, it's the best feeling in the world.
It's being able to remember the first time you met them as well. You know, like they probably come in the gym and they
shy as fuck, then head like this,
that's one thing
drop
I
like
love.
this, mate.
Head
like that.
That's one big part I love, is just actually cracking these people. You know, like I give myself 2 sessions, like you're going to be my best mate with it. I'm going to find something in common. And we're just going to take
that's it. You're just right though. You are just right.
Everyone that comes in is like, oh, you into football, rugby, what sport? And it's like, just find something. Find something. And like there's some real tame characters that are tough. But there's nothing better than like 3rd session in, they're cracking jokes back at you. It's like,
we're bouncing now.
And then that makes the gym so much more comfortable for them as well. They'll end up looking forward to coming in.
Coming in. Exactly. You're very right. Because the gym can be a daunting place for many people. Like, many people. Like, I mean, believe it or not, I have had my days where I have drove to my gym in peak physical condition and have drove off. My like, I don't know what it was. Maybe just like different stuff going on in the background of life that like makes you feel really anxious and stuff, and like I'll just drive to the gym and go, holy fuck, I'm not going in there, and drive away. You know what I mean? That's happened like twice before, but like people will look at me and go, you of all people, you know, that's your,
I think it's a big bodybuilding thing as well.
It's the standard, mate. You know, people expect to see you walking in going, whoa, look at that dude, and like automatically in my head, if I'm walking in and I'm like wearing clothes and I know for a fact my shoulders ain't sitting as broad as what they're sitting, and my legs aren't filling like the shorts, and my forearm, my chest,
and it could even be like you still look big in, but just remember, even if you wore
knew
like
how
a
you
couple
felt.
Weeks ago, it's like,
boom,
I'm not feeling that today.
I know,
but it's the standard, and I think bodybuilding's massive for that, like massive,
100%.
And like people are like even recently, I was training in the gym, and again I was in Club 24. Someone stopped for a chat, and they were like, what's the crack? What are you doing with yourself now? I'm like, I barely do the weights anymore. I'm just kind of like training away, and I'm doing boxing and football, and you know, I'm more prioritizing getting fit. And he's like, what do you mean you're not doing the weights?
Aye, mate.
And I was like, yeah, but I'm not. Like,
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
well, you're still. I was like, yeah, but I don't feel like that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. Everyone's like, you're still looking big, mate. I'm like, bro. I'm like, I get annoyed at them. I'm like, mate, why are you lying to me? But I'm like, they're probably not lying.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, in their head, they're sitting going, hey, you know what, you're still a big guy. I mean, it's funny that you said that, because I said that about you when I saw you. You know, we were doing that job share photo shoot, or like, you came in, and I was like, fuck, you're still lifting, it looks like. And you're like,
exact same thing.
You're like, yeah, you're like,
you put that white t-shirt on, went to dumbbells, you're like, fuck,
yeah,
that guy's a freak.
I know, and I'm sitting going, oh, I'm like, looking at myself fucking depressed in the mirror, going, oh my God, I'm so small, and everyone's like,
but that is a good thing that even like bodybuilders are saying it about you, because they're the ones that don't know.
Those small details, like, they can be like, yeah.
And like, there may not be as much vascularity as there was, but the size is still there.
Yeah.
Nah, it's still sharp.
Ah, thanks, bro.
Next question. Things you wish you knew earlier.
Yeah. Things, what's a good question.
In relation to bodybuilding. Yeah.
Things I wish I knew earlier. How important having a plan is.
Yeah.
Really. Like, from, like we had touched on earlier, routine and stuff like that. Like, I wish I knew how important it was to know exactly how to have a plan that you will enjoy, and be able to follow that plan without any slip-ups. Because, like, honestly, if you really want to progress as quickly as you can, everybody wants to progress overnight, but it gets skewed whenever people have to put the attention in the places that they maybe just can't be arsed with, their diet, with their sleep, with their exercises. You know, like, why do an incline bench press, barbell bench press, if you don't feel it, but you see someone else do it, and you're like, oh, well, that guy's got muscle, I'm going to do it, but I don't feel it. You know, you got to find your click quite early on, what you feel and what you don't feel. Stick with it, and stick with that only, and get fucking super strong at it. Once that movement is maxed out, or, you know, you've built a significant amount of muscle, move on to something else that you might feel a wee bit better, you know, something like that. Like having a plan, because, the first 3 years, well, the first year especially, like I said, I was going in on the rowing machine, on the cross trainer, supersetting medicine ball slams with seated shoulder press. Mate, I was just all sorts of shit. And like, mate, I was a skinny dude wanting to build muscle. Yeah. So what am I doing? Supersets and like burning calories as much as I can in the gym. I was like, fuck. It wasn't until I started drinking serious mass, I put myself in a calorie surplus. I started gaining muscle, which then the fake accusations came. But then I realised the importance of, oh my God, what are you eating every day? Right, okay. This is extra food, right? I need extra food. It took me like 2 years to realise that. You know? Yeah.
It's why, like, I actually skipped the whole, I wouldn't say stupid training, because it was definitely still stupid training, but like, I wouldn't have been doing cardio as such. You know, because I think the first time I went to the gym, I was 17, and it was like the first time that I took a break from football because I wasn't enjoying it. And as my brother actually said to me, he's like, he went down to the Grove Activity Centre to practice his freestyle, and he said, here, there's a wee gym in there. It's like so quiet, so if it was something you ever wanted to start, you know, I'd probably go there. And then I was like, and I was like, well, I'm not playing football. It's like a few weeks later I stopped playing football. I was like, well, I need to do something now. But mate, I spent hours on Google, you know, before. I was like, but in GCSE PE, I learned that 6 reps was strength. I done everything.
6 reps.
3 sets of 6. 3 sets of 6. And it wouldn't even be till failure. You know, I would have wanted like that 3rd set to be hitting failure rather than the first 2. And I would have just been like, oh man, I was weak. I would have been, I think it was 5 or 6 kilo dumbbells. I remember shoulder pressing for 6 reps, and like that was it. Like,
and on that note, again, adding in that there, it's important to get strong across all rep ranges. You would agree, you know, that 6 to 8, 6 to 10, that 10 to 12, and then that 15 to 20 rep range. You know, you need to get strong across rep ranges, so you can add that in.
That's one thing I enjoyed was whenever you were, I think I started with you when you were under JP. And I could see JP's training and like the education that you obviously got from him. because there was a lot of those 15 to 20s.
Yeah, mate, and bro, see, honestly, mate, see, after a heavy set and the muscle is full of blood, and then you're like, right, okay, that's the heavy set done. Oh, sweet, I've only got 20 reps here. Mate, that 20 reps way harder than 6 reps.
Yeah.
Way harder. Way harder.
My joy definitely came from like low rep ranges.
Yeah.
And strength.
It was over and done with. Like, oosh, yeah, nice.
But,
whereas 20 reps hurts, it stings, it burns, everything. Yeah.
And then I remember you going to Cal.
Yeah.
And then the trainer changed slightly
again. Yep.
And it was fascinating to see because obviously like you were already a pro at this stage as well. So like you know your shit.
Yeah.
And then you're still learning all these different
mate, like you can, and like even to the best coaches in the world, I know for a fact they're learning every day. I still do not know everything, and there's so much to learn. And like every time I prep someone, no matter if it's bikini or open bodybuilding, you always learn something. You always do. You always, no matter if it's the smallest little thing, like, and there's me thinking, going, oh, you know, pretty good track record here of clients coming in and like clients placing and like doing well or like winning, and then I'm like, I look at my clients and I go, they can be better, you know, and I was like, I know they can be better, and then the next time they compete, they're better, you know, and it's like, I fucking knew it, because like that's what happened with Adrian done the Two Bros Pro. Adrian done Two Bros, and he came
before that.
Yeah, a week before Galway, and he wasn't going to do the Galway, and I was like, bro, do not end the season on that Two Bros. I was like, mate, that physique. I set it right up in Austria. I was like, mate, you look shit. I was like, bro, it wasn't my fault. Obviously, it's up to the coach to make that client look fucking amazing. I understand that, but it's like, kind of realizing it's like, that dude, he didn't need diuretics, he didn't need carbs, he doesn't need all this shit. And like literally I ran him in the next show on very small amounts of food and no diuretics and simple, just a little water increase the 2 days before, and he peaked perfectly. And what do you know, he went on and got the fucking sword and won the overall. I was like, bro, thank God.
And what was it, a week?
Yeah, it was a week. And a week and extra dieting, and the physique went from like 0 to 100.
And the worthwhile, like I'm terrible for not coming up with words.
Yeah, I know.
But like the weight of it, you know, 1 week, and then he's now got photos of him.
Yes,
he will have them photos for life. Stand up on stage with an overall sword.
Yeah, exactly. And his midsection was rock solid. And then you look at the Two Bros Pros. His midsection's rock solid, but then there's a bit of film of water across the abs that makes the abs kind of stretchy and soft looking. And I was like, mate, that needs to come off, because you did not look like that like 3 days ago. I was like, fucking doing our show next week. Oh, bro, don't want to, mate. Don't want to. And I was like, mate, come and see me. And he came and see me, and I was like, mate, put it to him. And he was like, yeah, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. And when he done it, he came off stage, he was crying, like, he was like, bro, thank you so much. And I was like, told you, mate. I was like, I told you, like, yeah, it's just when you know someone deserves to place better than how they placed, or look better than how they looked on show, that's like, you want them to redeem themselves, like, because like you don't want to go into an off season and you look at your last show and go, fuck, I look shit. Like, obviously you'll motivate yourself for that off season, like, but at the same time, coming off a show prep and going, fuck, I looked amazing, then getting into a show prep or off season, you're going to be on a high, trying to get even higher, you know what I mean? So
that is an interesting one, because now it brings me on to your coaching career and your best moments as a coach.
Ooh, best moments as a coach.
Yeah, I think of a couple off the top of my head.
See, to be fair, right, there's been a few. Probably the most touching moment for me as a coach was Andres when he won when he won the British Championship, and I knew where his head was at all prep, mate. That boy was in the gutters, like you not mind me saying that, like he was really down, really down, and prep was the only thing that was keeping him happy. And whenever he was just like, everyone was saying, mate, you're such a fucking great physique, and like you can go places and all, but like he wasn't getting places. That's the thing. He was like, he wasn't opening the doors to go places. Like he was doing a show prep, so he had to wait until the show came. But like when he got on stage, and I just watched them all line up, and then the standard was pretty good. And then when he got pulled into the middle, I just saw his face light up. And then whenever he got the pro card, he came off stage, he was crying, like, and I gave him a hug, and I could just feel the energy, like it doesn't no homo, like I just
like a sigh of relief.
Yeah, I mean, I just felt the energy of him, and like obviously saw his face, and like how happy he was, man, and nearly put a tear in my eye. Like I was like, bro, fucking fair play, like. Yeah. And then close to that was like I've never had many clients compete in the one show. It's always been like one client here, two clients there. But the last time we had PCA Ireland on up in Londonderry, what I had came away with like 4 firsts, 1 overall sword, and 1 second. Yeah. And like I was like, mate, fucking fair play to the boys. I was like, it's class, and like that was a very proud moment for me as a coach. But I think the most touching moment would have been Andres. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, nice. Hopefully we repeat it. Like we go over again next Saturday or Friday. We get the standing line across.
Is that how close it is?
Yeah.
Couple of weeks.
A week, mate.
Ooh.
He's on stage this day next week. He's doing the pro show this day next week. He'll be doing the finals on Saturday and then the pro show on Sunday. Yeah,
I have to turn this episode out really quickly.
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah, that's
right. But no, like I remember seeing him get his pro card, and like I think I've only texted Andres like once or twice. It's like replying to stories, but at that I was like, he is the nicest guy.
He is the nicest guy, mate. And
the nicest guy. Being.
Yes, mate. Honestly, when you look at him, you would go prick, right? Because.
He walks,
but genuine he is though. Genuine is. People in the gym look at me and they go, "Why is he walking like that?" I'm like, bro, I guarantee you, if you walked up to him and go, "Flare your lats," he'd go from that to that. Like you would see the flare. He just walks. He's a freak, mate. Absolute freak.
And again, he's like, it's crazy to look at because he has those, those round muscle bodies that we talked about with Adrian.
Yeah,
and he's just so big.
He's just so big, man. He's just
like his shoulders.
Like you say, some people just have it. Yeah, like he has it. Yeah, he has it. Like I remember, he was eating 8 meals a day on prep. He's now down to 6. I mean, I'd be thankful to be on 6 meals at like fucking 1 week out, 100%. Like, and he's like, "Where's carbs?" I'm like, "Bro, your carbs are 300." What do you mean, where's carbs? I was like, I know. I'm like, bro, 300. But God love him now. I've actually pulled his carbs out, like. So no, I'm like, you can say it, where's carbs now? He doesn't even have the energy to say it.
This is the last time that I'll interrupt the podcast. This time is to tell you about Goretta Hub. Goretta Hub is a shop based in Lisburn, but it is quite different to most shops. Inside, it has stock of the brand itself, Goretta, as well as fellow podcast sponsors Drop It and MC Nutrition. They have a photographer, 2 artists, 3 jewelers, 3 other clothing brands, and a shoe company, all under one roof. And that's just the shop floor. They have a barber studio on the 3rd floor, which they are currently on the lookout for. So if you are a barber in the local Lisburn or Belfast area, be sure to give them a shout. You can find them on Instagram at Goretta Collective. Back to the podcast. Lifestyle clients.
Yeah.
What's the biggest difference you notice between lifestyle clients and the likes of... obviously they need a completely different approach.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest difference would be, it would be the obvious ones, like the obvious ones, like people just coming in and they're starting from scratch again. They're like, come in on the Monday, motivated to have a really good week. Comes to the Friday, right, going to have a really good weekend. They come back in on the Monday and they're like, fuck, hit the restart button here. Let's go, let's try again, But like that's just because obviously lifestyle clients, like it's in the name, you're trying to fit it around their lifestyle. It's not like, bro, you can't go out and drink. Bro, you cannot eat that. I mean, if you eat that, you're gonna fucking miss. You know what I mean? It's like trying to teach them how to balance the nights out, balance the meals off plan, or balance even the binging. Like everybody has binging episodes. Like everyone does. It's normal. If someone tells you they don't, they're probably fucking lying, or they're yet to experience it. And like everyone's binged, and just with the lifestyle clients, is just kind of how to maintain that day to day, and like realize if they fuck up, it's not the end of the world. They can always counter it. But then again, you tell them that, and they're in their head, they're going to be like, oh, well, that means I can have this here and keep, trying to signal. Yeah.
Posing clients then. So posing, obviously,
it's quite seasonal.
Yeah. But how much? Say you've got someone who's obviously being coached by somebody else, but then you have them as a posing client, and then you see them get a result on stage. How much does that fulfill you? Or are you looking at them thinking, honestly, I wish I prepped them?
Yeah. This is the thing, mate. Whenever they're on stage, it's weird. I don't know why, and it's my own fault. I'll just not even think about, oh yeah, they're a posing client. I'll be like, yeah, that's such and such client. I don't know why I think like that, because I know myself, mate. I've seen other coaching or other posing coaches, and they're like, my posing client came first today, and that's 3 clients that have came first today, and I'm like, stop saying they came first because you're posing. They more likely came first because of the fucking way they looked, mate. You know what I mean? It's obviously the posing adds up. It does 100%, but I think I've seen too many. One person in particular over here, not saying the name, but it's just my client came first. I'm like, mate, that's not your fucking client. It is your client, but bro, you pose them 3 sessions, mate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I even put that label on. It's almost disrespectful to.
Yeah, I think it's to the coach. Yeah. I for one, if my client came first and I sent them somewhere to practice posing, even though that probably wouldn't happen, unless it was a bikini person, and the person oh, fucking my client came first, I'd be like, oh yeah, how fucking, well, how was the show?
Talk me through their prep.
Talk me through their prep, mate. What was their peak like? Was it good? Yeah, you know what I mean. Show prep posing is so easy compared to peaking.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. That's why I think it's the coach deserves to have the post.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? More than the posing client.
I suppose it depends how you want to brand yourself as well. If you really want to make a name for yourself,
you have to post like that. Yeah, exactly. And maybe that's something that I should do too, because I do. Well, that's the thing, man. This is why I'm kind of veering off into other areas of life and all this, because I'm looking at going do I want to be a posing coach? I'm not even I'll get posing clients in and I'll be like, I don't even take a photo of them. I'm like, I didn't take a photo of them. They just travel all the way up from Limerick. They need to take a photo and to post on my story going, oh, I had a posing client in today. I'm like, I'll just message them after with the video that I send them of me in the background and them in the forefront and me running through the poses, talking out loud. I send it to them. I don't post it on my story.
Yeah.
But then that's what I maybe could do, is post it to my story, because then people are like, oh yeah, it'll only be maybe one in every 3. I'll be like, you know what, yeah, set this up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, I should capitalize on it more. It
is an interesting one, because I think you're similar to me in the sense where unless a client records their set and uploads their set on their story and mentions you, you're not standing in the dock recording them.
Yeah.
And I don't do that either.
Yeah.
If I were to, then it would definitely be setting up the phone and then seeing them do their set, because I think coaches get very distracted by that. I think you're coaching very poorly if you're standing with your phone.
Oh, glad.
You cannot say that you're justifying your hourly rate right now by having your phone and just trying to get more business out of them.
Yeah.
I understand.
There's often worse, man, if the client's doing it fucking completely wrong.
Yeah.
They're on the hack squat. They're going halfway down and they're pushing their legs, they're pushing their knees up, and they've got a 5 kilo plate on the fucking back of it, and they're still using their hands. And the coach is like, brilliant work today by my client, hitting a new PB of 10 kg hack squat, and you're like, bro, it's not even 10 kg, they're fucking using their hands and they're doing half reps. Come on, cut the shit.
Yeah.
Fix that person. Let that result be the return of getting more clients. Man,
if you want to, while they're doing it, record that. And then a month later, record it again.
Exactly.
It's one thing I think I probably should start doing, is nobody has any idea of if I'm busy as a coach, who my clients are. Nobody knows anything. And I've just kind of realised that. I was like, I never do that.
Yeah.
So I might start firing up a camera, making sure they're, and still coaching, but just recording it. So you've got something to post. Because there's nothing better than, you've a client come in, say they're incline pressing 20 kilo dumbbells, and I was like, that was tough, I don't know if I can do that again. And then right now I have one that's pressing 32s.
Yeah.
From that And I'm like,
shit, I want to.
And I wish I recorded them doing the 20s.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. And then you're recording the 32s, and you're like,
because it's all fine and well. Like, if everybody was honest, it would do well. If I put up a story saying he came in and he was pressing 20s and now he's doing 32s, like 2 months later.
Yep, that shows
there's too many coaches that say that.
Yeah,
like, I've seen some ridiculous ones, and they're like, "This is my client bench pressing 60 kilo. He couldn't even bench the bar 5 weeks ago." I was like, "Okay, mate."
Yeah, surely, yeah.
He couldn't do 20 kilo and now he's doing 60. It's like stupid things like that, and it kind of ruins it for.
Yeah, or it's like, as well, like, I've obviously, I used to be like this like 3-4 years ago, and then I kind of, like, as I've got older and kind of got more wary of, like, just being realistic with stuff and all, and, like, you know, showing a 6-week transformation or like an 8-week transformation of a lifestyle client, but they're on fucking, like, this isn't, I'm not saying I've done this, I see this all the time by a few PTs in Lisbon, and they're like posting a lifestyle client and they're like, tremendous fucking progress in 4 weeks, added 2 stone of muscle. I'm like, bro, that's like a gram of test and a gram of DECA, and fuck all change in their diet or daily habits. That's just test and DECA. You know, you can't post that and go, oh, tremendous, because then they're going to go, some Bob from off the street will be like, fuck, I look like that now. Fuck, if I go to you, I'll look like that in 4 weeks, but I don't want to take gear. But he'll not say to me that, like, that client's on gear, and he'd be like, oh yeah, I got that result, mate. You come to me.
That's, I mean, they'll outright lie about it, and that's where it's,
and that's where it gets skewed. But like, before, I've maybe went like, oh, unreal progress, 15 weeks. And I haven't mentioned that it's a show client, but it's quite obvious that's a show client. But then I'll get a DM off like a guy who I know is not wanting to do a show, going, wow, mate, that's amazing. That's only 3 months. Whoa. And they're like, you can tell they're thinking, oh, I can look like that, but you don't want to turn around and go, yeah, mate, you need to take T3, T4. Fucking, you know what I mean? It's just, don't be too skewed, you know, don't.
Read between the lines.
Yes, read between the lines, folks.
You need to remember it is people's business.
Yes, if you see a result and it's maybe happened over the course of 8 to 16 months, you know, depending on like a good versus really good transformation, like 8 to 16 months, then you could probably say it's definitely not assisted. You know, whereas if you're looking at like 2-3 months transformations and they're fucking ridiculous, but the client hasn't mentioned, or the coach hasn't mentioned that they're doing a show, or they turn around and say it's a lifestyle client, they're completely putting it into the fucking wrong area. You know what I mean?
And it's there's so much wrong with the industry. Like,
but bro, we could have a podcast separately on this. Like, next thing you know, we'll be the 2 most hated men in this.
Just drop names.
Fight me.
Just drop names and lock doors.
Name bomb. Right, just see who rocks up first.
Well, there's so much you go into. Yeah. But the next bit is one that we're gonna speak about is PEDs.
Yes.
In the bodybuilding scene.
I love my PEDs. Well, I used to.
And I know you don't want to. You don't want to say what you took, because then obviously,
you don't want to say
people are going to be like, "Oh, here, I should take that." But obviously, if we put it in the correct context of,
like, I built, like, anything that I say and like how much I've took, that's just like, I've been on steroids for 7 years. Okay, so it's took me like 5+ years to build to the dosages that I had been running. But prior to joining Cal was when I was on serious amounts with JP, because I told JP, I was like, listen, Jordan, push me here. I'm a pro. I'm going to do another pro show. So he bumped my test from 700 to a gram. He brought my DECA up from 300 to 600. You know, it wasn't that much, but it was a lot. That's a lot. Still is quite a lot. You know, 16,000 milligrams of androgen load per week is quite a lot for anyone. No matter if you're been taking gear for 5 or 10 years, there's someone else going to come in again.
Sorry, it's not open today.
I closed. You're all good. Should really close that door. Put a lock on. There's a snib there.
Oh, fuck, so right.
But PEDs. Yeah. What about them?
I suppose I'm interested about Cal, because Cal's so in tune with the body.
Yeah, so this is...
And would I be right in saying he didn't actually have you on?
Mate, fuck all, right? My test went from me cycling myself, 800 tests, because I came off, like, and then I went back up and I was like 800 tests, 500 MPP. Cal went 350 test and 100 milligrams of Tren a week. That was it for the first 8 weeks, and then we went into prep. The only thing that changed was Primo came into the mix. The test stayed where it was at, the Tren stayed where it was at, but Primo came into the mix, and that was in the 500 milligrams. And you can run Primo anywhere up to 700-800 milligrams before it gets really effective. So technically I was still taking under the required dose, and mate, I felt amazing. I felt amazing. My strength was really good, my recovery was really good, my mood was really good, and that taught me less is more on the androgen side of things. And ever since from then, all my show prep lads, bang, they're on fuck all. And people, I know for a fact there's coaches out here, I'll be like, yeah, you're lying. I'm like, mate, go and ask Andreas what his cycle is. He's maybe taken a few things, but the dosages are way down. They're not way up. And people look at Andreas and go, he's geared out. I'm like, bro, he's not even on 400 milligrams of test. He's on 350, and he's on fucking 200 Tren. That's fuck all compared to what he used to run, which was 500 Tren, 1.5 grams of test before he joined my coaching. And look at him now versus looking at him back then, he's still better now. So it's if you're doing that, I guarantee you pull the doses down by half and you'll thank yourself. Yeah, you actually will.
Because that is one thing I see you talk about a lot, is less is more. Yeah,
less is more. And Cal was I put my faith in him, and I was like, mate, he's a genius. Look at his guys. I was like, he's doing something right. And I was looking at him like, mate, he's not even fucking relying on the drugs to get the results. Yeah. You know what I mean? But the results were happening so fast.
Sign of a good coach as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Not just pumping.
Yeah, not just pumping. Yeah.
And then, I suppose, next question is biggest side effects, if any. Biggest effects in general.
Biggest side effects. Well,
I think it's one thing everybody always wants to know is does it affect your
Trent? No. So whenever I'm taking the most drugs would be at the back end of prep, right? When you're at the tail end of prep, closer to the stage, when food's really low and you need a bit of oomph in your sessions. This one side effect was I got in such a bad road rage instant. I was just hungry. So I genuinely was just hungry, mate. I was in the hard shoulder, and I was was in the slip lane, merging into the left-hand lane of the carriageway, and there was a lorry, not even joking, mate, probably over 100 meters away, and he was going 60 mile an hour maybe, right? And I was in the M2, or no, it wasn't in the M2, sorry, I was in the M2.
Yeah, it was this first one, isn't it?
Yes, mate. I took off, cut in to the left lane, mate. He's miles behind me. He just flashed, right? He flashed me. That was it. He flashed me. I lost the head, mate. Did the horn. I slammed on the brakes because he flashed me, right? And he slammed on the brakes, mate. The full front face of the lorry went boom, the whole front just dark down like that, because he slammed on the brakes, went up the left-hand lane because he had to, because he was going to go into the back of me because I slammed on the brakes. I was like, bro, well, you weren't going to drive into me, but you are now. I was like, fuck you. I was like, slammed the brakes. He went into the left-hand shoulder, the whole front lorry nearly toppled over and then went back into the left-hand lane. I panicked and just drove off. I was like, I nearly caused an incident. And then that's when I realised, I was like, right, okay, is it the drugs? Is it the food? And I was like, probably a bit of both. But in my head, I was like, it's just the food.
Probably a lack of sleep with us as well.
But when you look back, you're like, yeah, okay. Obviously now I'm eating what I want. I don't take anything bar 0.6 mil of test a week, which is just above 150. It's 180 milligrams of test. I'm on 180 milligrams of test, and if someone was to flash at me now, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Yeah,
Are you still capable?
I'm like, fuck. That Tren sent me from 2 years ago. Damn it. But I don't necessarily believe in roid rage. I just think it's the hunger that gets people. But I do think one drug in particular does influence it, and that would be Tren. We can all maybe. You can all maybe agree on that there. even when I'm on a wee bit of training, like, I'll just feel agitated maybe. Maybe just a wee bit agitated, like someone looks at me
just
wrong.
might
like
snap where you'd usually be able to talk to yourself.
And it sounds bad saying this, and you don't want to say this, like, because it just sounds bad as me as a person. But I remember in like warehouse stuff, here's me saying like, I was just hungry. But now, whenever I was on training at the back end of prep, and yes, it was on 100, went to 150 milligrams, I could still feel it. Because someone, like, one guy would look at me, and he'd probably look at me as in, like, just envious, be like, "Oh, look at his shoulders." But, like, he'd be looking at me, see if he was looking at me for more than 1 second, I'd fucking deliberately be like, what are you looking at? Like, I'd look back at them, and then I'd realise, going, I'm walking about in a stringer here, ripped to the dick, you know what I mean? Like, vascular as fuck. They're probably just going, fuck, look at that dude. Yeah. But in my head, I'm like, what the fuck's your problem, mate? You got a starting problem, you know? And, like, I was sitting going, no, it doesn't affect me, bro. It really does.
But it is interesting, because I think I like looking into the mentality of it, and I wonder if people use it as an excuse as well.
Yeah.
You know, I think if you're an angry person, and then you were to start taking drugs, you would just be quicker to snap because you've got that excuse in your head already.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when people go through traumatic stuff in their life, and like they are the victim at the minute. Like, they are definitely a victim, but it doesn't give you the excuse to. Exactly. I feel as though that's something that definitely comes into play. So if you mix the wrong person with drugs,
and that's what gives, those are the people that give steroids a bad
bad rep.
You know, like, I've went on cycles before, and you feel fucking fantastic. You feel great. You feel in a really good mood. You want to help people. You feel motivated, and that is a positive influence, like, because when you're on like a wee bit more test than what your natural body produces, you feel really fucking good. You feel like you could run a marathon. You feel like Superman, you know. And like, I'm nice to people, and I'm really nice to people because I just feel nice myself, so I'll be nice.
Yeah,
you know,
if you feel good yourself.
If you feel good, you will be good back to people. Yeah. And when you don't feel good, you don't want to talk to people, or you don't want to know anyone's story or anything like that. Yeah.
Which is why it says a lot about people whenever they do. You know, you hear about these things happen, it's usually because they're struggling themselves.
Yeah.
And like, that could be the exact same with that.
Yeah.
Your transition to MMA.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it. What influenced it?
Do you know what honestly influenced it? Like, I've always kind of wanted to get into it, but I never did until this year, because obviously I was like, bodybuilding was the first and foremost thing in my life, and that was the only thing I cared about. Like, when I wake,
it has to be.
It has to be when you're at that level. Yeah. You know. And then it wasn't until March this year when I came off the grass, when I came off the day-to-day excessive smoking, you could say. I was like, you know what, fuck this. I was spinning the wheels in weight training. You know, I was like, 1 week I was really motivated. The next week I didn't want to fucking train, so I wouldn't train. I was like, bro, I'm fucking back and forth here. I need a new sense of direction. And was like, whenever McGregor was coming out back in the day, I was like watching his fights, and all the boys, you know, you'd stay up all night and all, you're all fucking on the stuff, and you're like, oh, fucking go, pop, and you're like, and you're like, fuck, I want to do that. I was like, I'm never going to do that. I'm just prioritizing my life with bodybuilding. And then I was like, you know what, mate, fuck it. I got speaking to a guy in Gym Doc, Tim Smith, and he was an older guy, like, and like, I look up to him in a way, like, you know, he's a good man to look up to. And he was like, you know, you should come up to IFS one night, you know, come on up with me. And I went up one night, and so fucking nervous going in. I was so nervous because I was like, they're going to think I can take them as well, right? And I walked in, first thing, oh, there's a big lad there. Oh, did I ask you many street fights, mate? That's a wee trick question. And like, because they told me this after, I was like, yeah, I've been in a few street fights, and they were like, oh, you think you're a good fighter and all? And I was like, no, mate. I was like, sure. Like, I was like, no, mate, I can't fucking. I'm pissed. I was just like, I'm pissed. I was like, under no illusion. And they liked that. And then it was Saul actually who told me the next time I went in, he was like, we've had guys come in, they're like, alright bro, I get in street fights every night, I go out and all, and they're bragging and boasting about it, and then they get in their cage and they get fucking dropped, like, you know what I mean, like right off the bat. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to be that guy, like, yeah, because it's second nature to think that you can hold yourself in a fight because you've got a bit of muscle. People are going to think, oh, big, strong, he can hold himself. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, you can't.
It's scary how much I can relate. Because I think it was February that I went down to the local boxing club.
Yeah.
And it was the exact same.
Yeah,
but even worse than that. Now, I went down. I just got recommended because I was doing my own wee bit, like on the bag in the yard. And there's no structure to it. You're not learning anything. I was like, but from leaving bodybuilding, to which obviously I'm in like commercial gyms and stuff, and like I'd be like the go-to guy where people are like, oh, here, how do you do this exercise, or what food do you eat for this, and like asking advice. And I was just like, I just want to be a student again. I want to learn. I want to have something to really
yeah, you want to be a student again. Yeah, you want to learn.
I want to learn a new skill. And
that's exactly it.
And I went down to the local boxing club, Lisburn, and I went in. And I was like, yeah, mate, he asked if I'd box before. I was like, no, treat me as a beginner. Like, I'd done a wee bit of boxing a few years ago, but I was like, no, treat me as a beginner. I just want to learn. And I went in there, mate, and I got warned before I went in. I was like, it's a young group down there. I was like, okay, that's fine. Oldest there was 14, and I was 92 kilo.
Holy fuck.
So they're looking at this guy, and they're like, and all them, and obviously they're young. Now they're good boxers, they're skilled boxers, but they didn't even have the grasp of, like, they were like, mate, I bet you could beat the fuck out of me. And I was like, mate, you're like 50 kilo and you'd probably jab a head off me.
yeah, exactly. By the time you're trying to throw one punch, they've landed like three punches.
And like, even the perspective of looking back to when I started, it was like I was so slow. Like so slow. But that was. It's humbling.
Yeah, it is very humbling. Humbling is
it's a classic experience. I absolutely loved it.
And like you would agree, mate. See, when you're like sparring with someone, you have a different type of bond for them and respect for them afterwards, because you're like, you know what, fair fucks, we just went at each other there for like a minute. You punched me, I fucking hit you as hard as I could, you hit me as hard as I could. We're both standing here smiling about it, like laughing, like fair play. And like, you don't really get that camaraderie maybe as such in bodybuilding. Maybe if you get off a stage with someone and you're top two and you're whoa, but like you don't need to be the best player or like the best competitor on stage or the best boxer in there to feel like a camaraderie, to have that camaraderie with people. You know what I mean?
That's why I actually loved about competing, is like we were sitting there backstage, and the beauty of it was a first timer show. So it's everyone's first time on stage, and it was juniors, so everyone's like my age as well. And like we were just talking shit. I loved it. We got the wee numbers and we're like, where do you put this?
Where do you put them? Left or right side?
That's what I actually really did like about it. And I'm still in touch with a few of them on Instagram and all. Like it was nice that way.
That's good.
It has a good sense of camaraderie. But yeah, boxing's different level. And all I've done at this stage, like whenever I'm sparring boys I know. Boys I'm friendly with, so like it's even hard to get in that mentality of like I want to hit you, because a lot of time it ends up soft.
That's
because you can't go from like what are you at tonight, and then like the bell rings and you want to attack them. It's very difficult to switch that. So at the minute I'm trying to get like other sparring partners, as
you
well.
Don't really know.
But as well as that, like the exhibition fight I done, and fair play to him, like I got told about him before.
I even heard about him before.
And there was a lot of talking about it. I was like,
but that's
boy, he went up and was like, mate, this boy's on train, just be wary. I'm just sitting there like, great. And then another boy was like, I'm pretty sure he's been locked up and all, and all this talk. And then I was like, well, you know what, let's just go for it. I'm not gonna put out, you're gonna fight people, I guess. And then but complete fair play to him, like, because the whole time he actually made me like him.
Like, exactly. You get like a
even before
mutual respect.
We're in this like small, it's like a boxing club. It is a boxing club, and you're like walking in and out, and like each time I pass, he's like, oh, good luck, lad, good luck, and I was like, he's almost making me not want to hit him here. And then even after, like, just coming up and shaking hands and hugging, it's like, fair play, respect, and,
exactly. But it's a very
misconceived, is that? Misconceived sport as well. It's like same as bodybuilding. Every sport will have their misconceptions, but I think everyone's just like, oh, they're just aggressive, and if you come across someone who does mixed martial arts or boxing in the street, they're just going to be looking to fight. And it's like, that's the last, the last thing they want to do.
It's the opposite. Like,
they do not want to hurt someone.
That's what I said about those boys in my post there earlier today. I was like, listen, they're straight up killers, but they're probably the most most respectable people in the fucking country.
Yep.
You know, like they will walk past you in the street and be like, hello. You know, if they got in their fight, they would know they would kill you, so they wouldn't want to fight you.
I heard Paddy the Baddy talking, and he's a big football fan, so he was, I think it was Liverpool against Bayern Munich, and he was leaving. It was in Bayern, or it was in Munich. Sorry, so it was in Bayern Munich at their home ground, the Allianz, and they were leaving the stadium, and he's on the phone to his dad. He's like, yeah, Dad, we absolutely battered them. And then the German was like, you don't speak about us like that.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I was like, yeah, we completely fucked them up. And then your big man was like, he's like, and then his mate was like, mate, please don't. Like, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. Yeah. And I think it was only then they realised and they left it. I was like, it's the last thing they want to do. Yeah. And they tried to say, I was like please don't. Because you know what's coming.
Yeah. Fuck.
No, it's mad. It's mad.
It's a great sport. Like, because, you know, boxing's the same, mate. It's decision making down there, split seconds. You have to read that opponent. Every opponent is different. Every opponent will have a different style of fighting and stuff, different stance, orthodox, southpaw, you know what I mean? It's like, there's just like different, it's just mad. Whereas in bodybuilding, as much as bodybuilding seems difficult to the outside person, obviously for me it's like so simple, man. Calorie deficit,
I said that the other day surplus, in the gym.
Weight training, like that's it.
I literally said that last week in the gym.
It's so simple.
I turned around and I was like, you know, if I just went back to bodybuilding, it'd be so much easier than this. Because at the minute, I'm trying to, like, I'm probably back on the weights now, like 4 or 5 sessions a week. Yeah. I'm like, so now I'm doing this, plus I'm doing football, plus I'm doing boxing, and I'm in a bit of a deficit because I'm trying to cut weight. And I'm like, bodybuilding is so easy.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's so fucking so easy.
And as much as I preach to anyone, as passionately as I can, that bodybuilding is a skill. Like, it is a skill. You have to learn how to lift properly and all the rest of it. You realise what
a skill actually is when someone's like dipping and weaving and sipping and like reading your pen, pouring and bang. It's just all mad shit, mate. And there's a million and one things, like.
But you're never done learning. Like, you could get to a stage in bodybuilding, maybe you get to like your 60s and you have lived through it, and you're like, this works for me, this doesn't work for me. There's not much left to learn. Yep. There's always, always, no matter what. And even like, I think MMA, there's obviously a lot of different angles you can come from with the kicks, the knees, and there's so many different things to do. But even boxing, you have 2 hands and you'll never stop learning.
Yeah, exactly though.
Till the day you die, you'll be learning new stuff.
It's mad. It's mad. Like, it's and again, it's going back to like us being a student again, complete rookie, and like having a ladder to climb, and you're like, yes, I know in a year's time the progression is going to be so good. You know what I mean? Because you know you have to start here to get there, whereas when you're kind of already up there, you're like, I know what to do, it's a bit boring.
And it's mad because you think a 17-year-old you, and it's like, I would love to be in the position I am now.
Exactly.
You know, I think of me before starting the gym, it's like, there's no way I would have got into that shape and all. And then all of a sudden it just doesn't matter.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden the passion for it.
It's weird.
But even from a confidence aspect, I think the confidence of, you know, being able to fight. You know, you think you're on night out, and like there'll be times like you know you're full as a house, you're bodybuilding, and then you've still got that thing in the back of your head. It's like, if this kicked off, I'm screwed.
Exactly.
Whereas like, if you've got a balance of both, and not saying to take anyone that comes at me on that night, but like you're it's an educated fighter.
It's not saying that you intentionally
you can stick
to
up
do
for yourself.
this sport too, for that matter, but it's like, it's a nice feeling knowing, right, well, if you came at me, I could sweep you, no problem. You know what I mean?
I could look after myself. Basically, and there is a different type of confidence that comes with that.